All right, 3, 2.
All right. And we are live. The last word with Ebontis returns. And we have a special guest, I believe.
We do indeed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Normally, he sets me up. We do these elaborate intros sometimes, kind of little Iron Lord podcast flavor for the last word. But this is family. This is the screen. This is what we game with. This is Wilhelm Scream, but also known to you as one of the big Destiny content creators out here. Huge fan of his content, and he always figures out ways to manipulate the system.
He is definitely the one just looking for that one piece of texture that Bungie forgot to put in. So he's out there
Absolutely,
looking for tricks.
man.
Trolling Reddit. That's what I'm
Scream, man. Wilhelm Scream, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks so much for having me back today. I'm really excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So much fun stuff to talk about. And
absolutely,
lots of good things. So glad to have you back, sir. Been a little bit. What have you been up to?
Well, I was traveling a little bit and went on a couple of vacations. I went to
the tough life. Wow.
Yeah.
Couple vacations.
Well, it's a little bit overdue, and I've called this the summer of Wilhelm. But yeah, and I actually went to the what is it? Not the Ozfest tour, but the Warp Tour 25th anniversary, which is like the biggest festival. I've never gone to a festival tour before. My wife and I visited that this year, and there was like 30,000 people there on the second night when like Blink 182 and the Offspring played. It was crazy. So that's what I've been up to, and traveling and doing some work when I can, trying to always find something.
Man.
And enjoying the game, when I can get a chance to play. I love the new exotic quests and stuff.
No doubt. No. So you've been playing a lot lately, or just been so busy you haven't been playing as much?
Well, it's like I usually can get on, like I say Tuesdays are the day that I try to play the most. So usually after reset, I'll get on and in the afternoon or later in the evening and try to get at least 4 or 5 hours in over the course of a week, just to see. And usually I try to know what I want to do before I go in. Otherwise, I'll get lost in it at this point. There's so much stuff.
It's so much.
That's a fair point, man. Yeah, I was like, there is so much going on to do. So, anything else with you?
Oh, well, nothing too major as far as life changes, but I mean, looking forward in a couple of months to the new expansion, which looks like it's going to be pretty awesome, and trying to see a movie every once in a while.
Right. Filming, you still rocking?
Yeah, trying to keep up.
Nice. That's what's up, man.
TV's so good these days, so it's like,
I can't keep up with any of this stuff. I don't have enough time to do any of the stuff that I want to do anymore. It's ridiculous now. It's I mean, it's a very much first world problem, but I was like, there's a lot of TV shows I'd love to watch. There's quite a few games I never finished, much less hardly stepped into.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too. Yeah. It's like I think I was mentioning to you, I bought Risk of Rain 2, which I saw like a trailer for. I forget it. Maybe it was E3.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember exactly what. It was a big gaming expo just like a couple of months ago, and it was like, oh, this looks like such a fun little game. I'll pick it up, and my buddy and I picked it up just to play it. I got to play like 2 hours of it, and I've been meaning to go back to it, but it's like, if I have time to play, I'm like, I'll play some Destiny, see if there's some content I can get, while I'm playing, so I at least feel like I'm doing something else.
No, says it's PAX East. That's what he thinks.
I think PAX East, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, it was the same thing with that exact game too. I did pick it up. It's not, it's kind of a little indie, kind of fun little run around shooter. I'm trying to think of what you would call the what is
it? Almost kind of reminds me of like Gauntlet. If you remember.
I remember Gauntlet.
So it's kind of like a sci-fi version. I can't think of the term of the damn game.
Like a romper stomper.
No, it's like Dead Cells. Like it's like you go through, you get a little farther every time, you kind of learn, but you start over fresh. I can't think of the damn word. I'm blanking on game.
Or
Not quite. No.
It's not a Souls-like.
No. Wow.
mm,
This is what you do. Like,
we
by
out
the
of
way,
terms.
if you've ever been like listening to a podcast and be like, "How can you not think of that word? The specific word? You should know all
Yep.
the things."
This
You're
is it.
on the moment and you blank completely. So just heads up, that
Yeah,
happens.
This is it. It's that moment.
All three of us are there, so it's even like.
I'm not describing it well, but it's
No, I think you are. I just can't think of it. Like, all I can say is I think it reminds
Is
me
it
of
2D or is it over the top?
Gauntlet.
Is it?
It's 3D.
Oh no, it's 3D, but it's
yeah,
like a Minecraft-y kind of 3D. It's different, but like blocky and.
Yeah, I gave up. I'm throwing the towel in. I don't know what you're trying to do.
You're good. No. At some point, I'll just like scream the word out, and then I'll know exactly what it is. So, what's up, Vagabondo?
Vagabondo.
Well, obviously, you guys know we have some Destiny stuff to talk about today. We got some news about Shadowkeep over the course of the past week. We got some news on a nice stylized way to knock some of our enemies out. So we'll talk about those a little bit. We got a little armor discussion coming to us, and of course the TWAB little Iron Banner coming around the corner. But before we get to the Destiny talk, we got to talk about some other things that happen in the world. ComicCon is going on right now, so wanted to touch on that a little bit, guys. So, what have you guys seen from ComicCon that has piqued your interest? I know there's one we kind of briefly touched on before. Give me one thing. Anything you've seen so far, Cognito?
I've been real light with my Comic-Con coverage. I've been watching like specific geek things, but nothing like major. So I was like literally looking at like somebody I subscribed to that he is like a big Transformers guy. So I was like, oh, new G1 toys, cool. And then I saw Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I'm playing, and they showed some new characters that look really cool. Cyclops is coming, hype about that. And then but I've been kind of light. So you guys gonna have to educate me on what you guys have been seeing, because I really haven't been, playing. Oh, salute to the Red Queen of the realm. She said that she's driving, but wanted to say hi. And you guys have a blessed day. Salute to the Queen. We need you in the realm of the last word.
Well, thank you very much. I know it's like we had some travel things, but we will get you on here soon. Cannot wait to have you.
Yes,
Miss
absolutely.
Queen, crushing it up there. So.
Salute. But yeah, you guys have to educate me, man. What's going on at Comic-Con?
Well, before you take it all, Scream.
Please,
because I was like, in the world of Comic-Con and movies, like I know a good amount, but you've got me usually destroyed on this knowledge. So
it's the film.
I don't know.
Film buff.
Oh no,
I saw a lot of my stuff on YouTube, so I was, it's always like I know Comic-Con is going on, and when you see the big trailers start,
that's like
YouTube,
there's mostly
like,
that I'm talking about. So for me, the big one, and I'm gonna steal it, Top Gun Maverick. Trailer dropped.
So you guys, Top Gun. All right, I've already know all the feels. I saw my timeline going crazy. I've seen it.
Of course.
Big movie.
It should be awesome. And honestly, this is another one of those where like they have the camera shot in the trailer where it's like, hey, what crazy ridiculous thing has Tom Cruise like done now? Well, it was like, okay, so it was Mission Impossible Fallout. And he's like flying the helicopter, and they've got the cameras in there, and it's like the solo shot and stuff like that. So then, of course, Top Gun Maverick, you've got him like with the side shot, like in old school Top Gun, where it's like, cool, let me give me the salute, and then I go. And then it cuts to him with a camera in his face in the cockpit, takes off of the aircraft carrier, and he's the one flying the damn thing. So it looks like he now knows how to fly a jet. And I was like, of course he does. It's Tom Cruise. Why wouldn't he?
Of course.
But the maneuver he does in the end, I was like, I don't know if it's one of those that he actually got to do, but oh man, I can't wait. That like, I don't care if like the reviews are like, this movie is the worst movie ever. I'm still going to go see it in theaters, probably in IMAX, as big a screen as possible, because I don't know. Now, the only thing I was wondering, because I thought about Top Gun, it's just got like a couple classic songs. I wonder if the soundtrack can live up to the first one, because I honestly don't know if it can. Those songs are too like classic and fitting that I don't know if like whatever songs go with the new one can even hold up.
What you think, Screen?
Well,
he's about to. You heard that elaborate. That was a very elaborate. Well, he's about to set us up.
well. Big breath. Get it all out.
Here we go.
Let me just breathe out quickly. To build on everything you just said, Kenny Loggins is coming back for the music.
Oh, snap.
There is a major character who is in the movie who you didn't see in this trailer because I'm almost positive they're saving him for trailer 2 because it's too big of a thing to drop in trailer 1.
Okay.
All the shots of all the planes are 100% real.
Whoa.
So there's very little. I don't think there's any CGI. So yes, I would say if you're going to see a movie in IMAX, this is going to be that movie to see because the shots are just going to be insane. From what I've seen in the trailer, the shots are absolutely insane. And so were the ones in the original movie. I mean, people used those plane, those aerial battle shots, those dogfight shots in literally like every major movie after that and television show that had a dogfight in it for like the next. They still do. They still use those shots from the original movie. So I'm sure they're going over the top with this. Tom Cruise is a producer, so they let him do whatever he wanted. I don't know if he can fly the plane or if they just set up a camera in the plane and like somebody else is flying
behind him or something. Yeah.
Or in front of him, because those F-18s do have dual and it'd be very easy to do that, but he would still need to be in it, holding on to the G-force of that, which is that's a whole thing,
Right.
So did you know about in the original Top Gun what he asked for, like as part of his, I don't know what you'd call it, like his like contract or whatever with the original Top Gun?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Do you know what he asked for?
What did he ask for?
He got to fly with the Blue Angels.
Oh yeah!
Wow!
Yeah, so it was one of his things. Is like he wanted to do that, like go on the ride along and stuff like that with him. He's like, hey, I got to do this. Got to kind of feel it for real. So that was kind of one of those things. He got to fly along with them, and I was like,
and now
he's got to do so many cool things.
Yeah, he's off the chain on stuff now. But it's like he's also like, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, and I don't want to be dark about it, but like when I heard they were doing a Top Gun again, I'm like, I think this is the movie that Tom Cruise is going to die doing. Like,
I mean, like jets.
He's going to go so jets. Like you don't come back from jets if you have an accident. No. And I've seen like the last couple of Mission Impossible movies, ones that when he's the producer, he just does they can't stop him from doing the thing.
No.
So he does such crazy stuff, and like. I'm like, they're doing Top Gun. I'm like, okay, it's like the seminal movie of his career. He's bringing it back. One of his most beloved characters.
Iconic character.
Yeah, most iconic characters. I'm like, he is going to do so many crazy things. He's going to die. It's going to be an amazing movie.
Salute.
But he made it through. So great. Maybe we'll get another Top Gun. But yeah, I was more excited for that than probably anything else.
No doubt.
Nice.
No doubt.
Just for the cinematic, like, I mean, it could be a horrible storyline, but the shots and the stunts and everything. And that last shot you told me, when he goes over, that was nuts.
Oh yeah, because it's the shot right before that with the four that line up, they're fairly low along the water, and then they turn.
Oh, where he's on the deck.
It's got but it's like they turn over the water, and it's got like it's whatever. I'm sure there's a name for the effect, but it's like the fog that goes over the plane, like kind of the back wings as they hit a hard turn, and the four of them hit it together. Yeah, it looks so cool. So.
Right, yeah, and when that dip over
just up, and it goes up sideways and flips over the mountain.
Sure, you guys are not having nostalgia like y'all claim I do with Vault the Glass.
No, Top Gun's still
a bunch of nostalgia.
Top Gun's still a good movie.
Now,
I've watched Top Gun recently. It's still good.
That doesn't mean just because you watched it a bunch of times doesn't mean it's good. It could be you looking through rose-colored glasses, like I looked through with Vault the Glass, like you say.
I'm aware of these.
I got to poke the beer. This is hard.
And I am okay with it.
Something that he loves with a passion, and I get to poke him. I love this. This is great. Continue.
Yes. I mean, it could be the worst movie ever. I'll see it 3 times.
Exactly. Now you know how I feel about Vault the Glassy.
I understand what you've said the entire time. I don't know if I can roll my eyes hard enough.
I love it. That was a great eye roll. That was great disgust that you displayed. I loved it. It's awesome.
All right. So that dropped. The only other major trailer I saw was, apparently a trailer for a Cats movie dropped, and people are not thrilled, but Haven't checked too much into that. I don't know. So, and then I did see the trailer for It too. Now, I don't know if you guys are horror movie people at all. No, maybe yes.
Yeah, I watch it.
Yeah, I watch it all. So, that's...
You do. So, and that was this thing for me. Sorry, this is not a movie podcast for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is the last word of the movies.
But no, it's like
this is their side project. I'm here tuning in.
But for me, honestly, when it comes to like horror movies, I've seen a fair share. I've seen the slashers. I've seen the gory ones. I've seen a decent amount over time. But like the recent It, when I actually saw it in theaters, was a pleasant surprise because it had multiple levels to like the like villains they're fighting. It's not just the clown. Like it's King, so it's always going to be a little darker. And that's why I was like, okay. And then obviously they set it up for a second one, and that's where it actually got really cool for me, is that like the cast is awesome. And if they do the second one as well with like the plot twists and the depth of the characters and things like that, that's what I can't wait for. So kind of looking forward to It too as well. And that's actually not that far away either. So
it's in the fall. Yeah. I'm assuming around Christmas, like October or something.
Oh, I think it's like September. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good too. I do like horror films. I mean, I loved the original like television version of it. If you ever saw that, that was
nice.
So freaky when I was a kid. That was one of the scariest movies I ever saw. The remake I thought was pretty good too, and yeah, the trailer was freaky.
Of course.
I thought they came up with a game. Maybe I'm getting confused. No, I'm getting confused with the thing.
Stranger Things had a little game.
Yeah, I think they came up with a game.
And then this is just a little personal note. If any of you guys are car people out there, I tweeted it out as well.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why I'm wearing the shirt in honor, because this is the Stingray shirt. I got it actually at the Corvette Museum. So the brand new 2020 Corvette is actually out there in the wild. The pictures are real. So they revealed it last night. They did a whole presentation, kind of tied it in with the moon landing and the astronauts and stuff. So they were talking about the anniversary of that. And actually, like, for history, if you guys don't know, most astronauts owned Corvettes. Like, that was a pairing that they actually had.
That,
yeah, most astronauts...
Educate me, sir.
It was basically just the fact that, like, they wanted to, like, I mean, they're driving spaceships, they're going fast, like, and they're pilots anyway, so they want, like, a speed, and it was, like, the American sports car, so, like, GM paired up with NASA, and it's, like, most of them had, like, special versions or customized. There was one trio of astronauts, they each had, like, red, white, and blue, and then the pinstripes would be of the other two cars, so each one had all three red, white, and blue colors on the car in some way or another, so they had kind of a cool homage back to that, and just kind of talking about the engineering and the process and everything. So, I mean, it's the first time Corvette's ever been mid-engine in, I mean, it's been made since 1953. So, I mean, it's been in a very, very, very long time. And, yeah, it's the first time for mid-engine ever. So, it's a huge, huge deal. So, they took the front engine, like, pushrod V8 about as far as they could go. So, very curious what they see next.
All right. Day one purchase, sir.
Yeah. If I get it's like if I get a very different job, then we'll talk. But for now, not quite.
I feel you.
I'm gonna need that YouTube windfall before that happens.
There you go.
So anyway, all the personal stuff out of the way, but yeah, the world is having some fun stuff going on. It is Destiny time, so if you guys were like, what are they talking about this morning? Not normal, but between ComicCon, I couldn't not mention Top Gun, and for me, I couldn't not mention the Corvette. So
of course, and then we got Scream with Phil Guy. Perfect.
It works. Film guy, like, we go off on the Scream and I are over here. Cognito's just like, you guys done talking about like movies?
This is the last film with Scream and
right.
Nah, I'm gonna let you rock, because I mean, listen, it's a big deal. These are huge nostalgic pieces. You know what I'm saying? And they're bringing them back. And Comic-Con is always exciting, regardless of what. Like, there's always cool announcements at Comic-Con. So I gotta respect your guys' love and seeing the Corvette love. I know. Shout out to King. He's a big Corvette fan. So I know I put him on to that with your tweet that you put out.
I saw him tag it this morning when I finally got up. So, well, what has been going on in the world of Destiny? How much have you guys been playing? What have you guys been feeling about it right now? I know Scream, you've been getting your 4 hours or so and every Tuesday. Cognito, you've actually been hitting it a little harder. What are you guys feeling about it right now? Just even the current stuff, like feeling it's good, feeling it's bad, missing anything? What are the current feels?
Current feel. I'll jump off. I'm loving it, man. It's just like I said. Now that I've been like almost full time again. It's just really, really enjoying it, man. So much to do. I think Scream had mentioned this, when he was talking. It's just like there's so many things you can do, as far as light and activities, just knocking out a whole bunch of quests. I notice what I'm finding myself doing is multitasking bounties and quests so that I'm maximizing the most I can do at one time. And I know Scream, we're gonna get into it a little bit about, besides maximizing the most you can do, maximizing efficient strategies to or glitches that can help your progress.
Not about working hard.
Yeah, and hey, we got Scream on, shout out to him. He's got some cool strategies of how to do certain things, and I've been paying attention, saying stuff as far as that. I know we're gonna get into that, but it's been an interesting time with the tribute hall and menagerie, and and obviously we'll get into Shadowkeep, but it's been full time for me, playing a little bit of everything, actually, for the first time, really playing everything. And then shout out to you, E. We got a Bender. Shout out to you too. We got my Shattered Throne done on PC.
There you go.
Oh man, that was so much fun. And it's funny because when you play with Ebontis during his solo stuff, he's still in his solo mode. So it's funny. You have to like put yourself in there, like he's still playing by himself. So he's so used to handling everything by himself that he's like, oh yeah, I got a little help here. Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like he's not used to it. It's funny. Like, so I'm like, all right, this is cool. But literally, the man put me in his backpack and just, I was just showing me the way. So Shattered Throne was done. I got one of my rare bounties, which I really wanted, which was a Black Armory bounty, which required it to have a 4 pieces we found out, right?
Yep.
4 pieces of Black Armory gear. It could be a combination of weapons or armor. And then, doing that and beat Shattered Throne. So when I saw Shattered Throne, because I was like, there's no way I'm doing Scourge of the Past raid. No way I'm doing Last of the Witch raid right now. I was like, it's got to be Shattered Throne. Got to call on the Nightfall and Shattered Throne soloist and get that done. And shout out to Bender for coming in and doing cool yoga poses and making me laugh during the strike.
Yeah, we're in the end looking at Dylan Caro and explaining the fight, and then they just bust out laughing. I was like, guys, focus.
It's like, you know what it is, Screen? Like, again, playing with, he doesn't understand. It's so natural from him. He's like a professor. He's teaching the course, right? So you in the back of the class with your man and your professor's talking, but your man is doing funny stuff. Like, that's what me and Ben was doing. Yeah, so he's doing emotes, and I'm like, yeah, I got it, E. And I'm just watching that. I'm like, I gotta get that emote. Yo, that emote is lit. The yoga joints. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to E for dealing with the children in the back of the class, messing up his perfect, flawless runs.
Yeah, I usually just duct tape myself to you, E, when we're doing any kind of.
That's all good.
Salute. Yeah, but that was it for me. What's been up with you, Scream?
What about you, Scream? What have you been doing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's always about working smart, but
I love this.
But I think the thing that I enjoyed the most is there's just so much to do as like a solo guy, that's outside the realm of this stuff that you need necessarily buddies to do everything with. Although it's great to have a friend like Ebontis when you need it, get it done.
Feel like,
guys, it gets done so fast,
so efficient, bro. When I saw that bounty, I said, "Oh, I held on to that bounty for like a week and a half." I was like, "Cause it's a long window before you get it done."
You're like 2 weeks.
Ebontis bounty. I'm waiting. Oh yeah, continue.
But yeah, I mean, I love the. I mean, it's been, I guess. I mean, I loved the menagerie when that came out, and obviously that glitch that was in the menagerie for the chest was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose you, Scream?
Too bad that's kind of gone now.
Yep.
Looking for another one. I don't know if it'll be found. But yeah, I just loved all of that. I loved being able to just kind of queue in and go. It's sort of like, I liked the forges for that reason.
Yes,
but
that's why I like the forges.
I always thought the forges felt sort of limited, and I wanted to always be able to do kind of a raid thing with 6 people randomly, and I thought that was like one of the best things. Yeah, that has come in probably forever. As far as like the tribute hall goes, I like the challenge. The thing that I honestly like, it can be, it's a frustrating thing in some ways, but
Mm-hmm.
like the thing that I love about it is like I kind of don't mind going and just having to run around like a little area and farm again. Like I don't
D1
necessarily mind.
feels. Yes.
Yeah, some serious
Yes.
like what was it on the moon? I can't remember that material that we used to farm. But yeah, that,
Helium.
Spin metal?
no,
I want to say it was helium filaments or something like that.
Helium filaments. That was right. Yeah.
Helium filament. Wow.
They're actually bringing that section back too.
Nice.
There's going to be something there. But yeah, like I actually like kind of doing that. You know, like it wasn't. It was just one of those things that I'm sure a lot of people aren't as entertained by as me. But when you try to, when you can come up with like efficient ways of doing that,
yes,
it feels very accomplished to me. I don't know why.
I want to jump in on that too, because literally what you're saying is what I've been doing. It's like a playing like D1 style where it's forcing me to engage in different activities, right? For the tribute.
Yes.
See, for me, I've been doing forges. I'm like, oh, he wants me to do forges. I love doing forges. So I go do forges today. You know, you do that, or you play this mode and not get killed and play this. And it just makes you do different things and different activities, but in a cool way. And I don't feel it's like unfair. I don't think they have you in there super long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll get into the bounty percentages. I don't know how I feel about that. But as far as the activities, yes, and length, I'm with you, Scream. I'm with you on that. Big time.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying that. And I mean, that's kind of really, I guess, what I've been spending most of my time doing is the first couple of days that Tribute Hall came out, I was just farming as much as possible and trying to, see what the best way to actually, manipulate as much currency as I could to get what I needed.
How you been getting that currency? Has that been more of an active or what do you say passive method?
I did leave my computer on for like 24 hours one time.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
Shout out to Pyro.
Yeah, Pyro was when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't, because I don't know. I realized it did it, but I didn't realize that you could just leave it there. Like I never had left it there for that long. That was like the big thing. And I was like, wow.
Perfect. It's so funny because it's like you look at your friends list now and you see nothing that activity.
You check
that's everyone was doing.
You check Charlemagne on Discord and you can see the populations and like 10% was forges like this week and everybody's like, what the? Oh, they're farming.
Now let me ask you a quick question in reference to said forging. Have y'all been noticing that like at least on my end, before you could be passive, right, and do what you got to do. Now, the last I would say maybe 2 or 3 days, I've been getting this. You have to log back in.
I've been getting kicked a little more frequently.
Okay, so I'm thinking they may be trying to do something passively.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, you farming? And then just like probably have some little bot go around and be like, when's the last time they touched the mouse? Okay, you're out.
Yep.
You're out. Just like slowly walking around checking on people.
I thought it was just me because I'm like the last 2 days I haven't gotten the full effects of my passive.
I haven't woken up with another 1,000 dust light shards or something. I mean, gotta get the full
exactly.
work in.
Got to get the full work in. And then the other thing is, shout out to the Spider. I think he's become one of the most fun characters to now see in Destiny with all your, new
drum roll. What's he got?
What's he got today, baby? Like, what's going on? Like, it's like literally,
Oh, for him, all I can picture is the Dave Chappelle like little meme where he's scratching you guys. You got any more of that? Dust light. You got any more of that shards, that glimmer over there? Yeah, I was like,
I'm in there like, yo, bro. Whenever you ready for these 2 materials right here, you let me know what you got for these 2 right here. Cause I got a lot of these specific 2 materials right here. So it's fun, man. Shout out to the data license right now.
Spider's been my favorite guy for a while.
I've always busy. He said Spider's a hustler. That's right.
That enhancement core is definitely hustler. Like, oh, 1, 2, 3. Wait, what just happened?
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
The days where he's selling for the planetary material from Tangled Shore. That's a good day.
That was a good day.
That's a good day. You can make a lot of glimmer real fast.
Bro, I hit the ATM hard. You know how many withdrawals I had that day? Oh man, I was buying up everything.
Not to mention that one that bounty glitch. They patched it now, but that was I made quite a bit during that period. That was a good farm when you could just go in and blast out the boss before he entered the final zone, so it wouldn't count, and then you just dump the quest and leave.
Yes.
Oh my god, you hit the chest on the way out. It was like you'd have just this mine of every time he was dropping two legendary Ingrams, and you're like, oh, what is going on here? That was insane. I got an exotic on the first one. It was nuts.
Oh, that's amazing. I gotta ask you a question. We're talking, taking advantage of things. Would you say, if you had to rank, let's do a little rank game. Would you say that what is currently happening with the Forges, where would you rank that as far as all-time Destiny exploits? Where would you rank this right?
Well, it is easy to. Ease of difficulty quite high because it's not that difficult to do. Set it up, but honestly, game breaking level not so bad. You're not getting high level gear. You're not pulling a plug on Crota and getting raid weapons. You're not farming engrams in the loot cave.
True. Shout out to Par 5.
So it's there's. Yeah, you can take all your materials, you can go to the planet, you can get packages, and you can get shards and stuff that way. But overall,
thanks for reminding me, by the way. Shout out to you to reminding me to actually go cash in on some of them vendors. I was forgetting to do that. Continue.
Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it doesn't compare to the loot cave, doesn't come to the Crota pull, like the Neil. Vault of Glass push off. I mean, you got raid breaks.
Vault of Glass push off.
Vault of Glass push off was nuts. That
so
was
in the world, it's actually really. I mean, as Dano said, it's pretty harmless in the grand scheme. You're getting materials. You're easing up there's 2 you can get. You can only get 2. You can't get them all. So you still got to get shards, you still got to get bright dust, you still got to get the other 2 planetary materials. So I mean, if you still want all the tributes legit, it's still going to take some work, but it is making things easier. Probably going to set you up with more shards when it comes to the fall, which is a big one. So it has benefits, but it's not nearly as bad. So
Scream, where do you are the master of said exploits.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's because if you really break it down, it's really just sort of one exploit for a specific activity. It's you're gonna get materials, but you're only gonna need that many materials really for the tribute hall at this moment.
Right.
And then if you want to catch up on some later, so you're not completely broke when the next expansion comes out.
Right.
And to your point before, I think they are now checking if you don't move within every I think 5 or so resets, they'll drop you out. I think
I definitely think there's been a passive fix certified on idle activity.
Right. So you have to at least keep an eye on it. Just give your thumbstick a little flick every once in a while.
Let me watch a movie and just hit the inventory button every so often.
Can't get my full 8 hours, man.
Yeah, gotta get that sleep on. Oh, you gotta get that. Hey, you're on PC now. They make bots for that.
That is correct. I have to investigate. But
it's so bad when you go on the PC. It's what's everybody's bot? It's move to the left, move to the right, aim up, aim down, turn, fire once, turn left.
So is that what those guys are doing? I see.
Yeah, I was all of you on console have no idea what it's like playing with people in bots when they're on your team. Oh man, the frustration. So annoying.
No doubt. But yeah, man, I just brought it up because I just for me, I haven't had a good one in a while.
Why is this guy turning left, turning right, and then shooting at the ground once?
Yes. Yep. And I haven't had a good one in a while. And this one, the timing of it was great. I was dreading the damn tribute hall, and it's just been great. As a person, as E knows, I use materials. I use cores. I use material. I am that guy. I am trying to maximize loadouts. I'm trying to have every subclass at optimal, levels for every situation. That's me. That's just how I operate. So something like this is ranking very high for me. You know what I'm saying? And just the ease of use is literally do nothing and walk away. that you can't beat that on certain levels. But I agree with E in the sense that yes, the reward is not, you know, Loot Cave 1 level. It's not Atheon level type reward and stuff like that. So, you know, but it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Something that's it's interesting in the grand pantheon of Destiny exploits.
Yeah, Destiny has been broken in its own ways many times. This will definitely go down as one of them. So
absolutely, so
for
that's
sure.
all I got.
Yeah, so I know we've all been literally sleeping on the job over here a little bit, definitely earning some materials. Trying to think what else we've got. So Tribute Hall, do you guys have your bad juju yet? Do you guys have the catalyst? Have you guys cheesed it? Did you get to do the cheese?
Missed out on the cheese. What about you, Scream?
The banner, the full catalyst cheese, I missed out. I did a video on it because I was like, oh man. It was like the day after I started doing it, and that news came out, so I was like, oh come on. But I had to at least let everybody else who hadn't started it know. But yeah, I missed out on the being able to just sort of plant the flag thing. I'm on the last step of the bad juju, but you're
on the mission.
I'm on the mission. I have been waiting to do it because I'm trying to, again, if I'm gonna do it, I'd rather not do it straightforward. So, so I'm trying to figure out the way, you know, wait to that moment where I do it and I can just cover the most amount of cheese as possible. But and there's a few, but I mean, it's all the whole mission. I love the exotic quests. The exotic quests are probably one of my favorite things to do, honestly, in the game.
Nice.
I don't know if I always realized that, but like even looking back, like just doing the Thorn quest in D1 was my favorite thing. It was definitely my favorite quest, not just because I got the Thorn, but like I really like doing the Luminous quest. So yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying the time I do get to play. I mean, and like you said, there is just so much to do. Like I try to kind of plan out exactly what I want to do before I even get into the game, because if I get into the game without that, I'm just gonna like walk around the tower and pick up bounties and like go, all right, now I just got to look at them in my giant pursuits tab, my mosaic of my pursuits tab.
Don't get me started on that.
How you guys feeling about that pursuits tab?
Oh, burn it to the ground.
I could do without it.
It's the worst. It is that double press. It's the double press. I figured it out. I hate that I have to go 2 clicks to this stupid menu, and then it's just unorganized. Oh, I hate it, man. It's so confusing sometimes when I want to just focus there, and then the fact that I can't completely eliminate it because I was like, okay, well maybe if you just track what you want to do, but you only like limited to like 3 and a few, triumphs.
Yeah, you get like 3, and you can track 1 triumph.
And it's just like, as a person, and I gotta shout out my boy Kaibatsu, because I used to give him crap for stuff like this when he used to talk about like Destiny's like UI and system and stuff like that and his work. This is the first time. Normally, like I'm a very easygoing guy, right? Because generally I haven't had that many issues. But with the fact there's so many pursuits, there's so many exotic quests, there's so many steps. Then there's steps that when you complete it, even if you tracked it, the tracking gets removed. Yeah. And then it goes to another step. So you're like, oh, what am I doing next? So it comes down to me where it's like efficient farming, efficient play sessions, right? And the worst thing is I have to start up Destiny and literally remind myself every hour to, okay, what am I supposed to be doing next? It's just like I said, you just want to be efficient. And I'm hoping with Shadowkeep that gets fixed, man. I cannot stand the pursuits tab right now. It is probably the worst it's ever been for me.
Yeah, that one's weird because I've seen people. It was like you knew it was bad when people in probably less than 24 hours. I think I saw like drafts up on Twitter and Reddit and things like that for like, I mean, UI graphics people and stuff like that putting stuff up. And and this is where it comes to again, the systems the game is built on.
Right.
When it comes to talking to, got a chance at Guardian Con asking people about like vault space and stuff like that. And it's like, well, it's like, what are the reasons they can't really say, but it's like, there's certain things. Well, it's like, so I went and had my brother and he and I looked at him and it's like, they load all 500 pieces of that vault every time you open it. Yeah. So it's like there's it's like and you think about consoles, what they can do, like what file size that is and stuff like that, and they always have to develop for the lowest common denominator. So I mean, on PC, it's like, yeah, we may only have 500, we could probably have 5,000, who knows, but that would absolutely just like brick a console. So I mean, there's a point to where like there are certain things, and this has got to be something similar. When you look at the Pursuits tab, they wanted to add more. So I don't know if like them moving it to a separate space on the director or on your social tabs like gives them an option to have more memory space, because you don't load the entire inventory when you put it in there. But now like the spatial setup of it is just weird. Like, but it was the fact that people fixed it in like 24 hours. I was like, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Any of those look good, like compared to what we got. So I don't know. Like I do think it needs reviewed, but as we'll get to a couple other things, I don't see it in the fall, unfortunately, because they just got done doing it.
Oh, bro, please don't say that. But I mean, I guess if I got to sacrifice something for cross save and a good raid and great campaigns and some strikes and some vendor refreshes
have it all,
and
right?
Armor 2.0, I guess I could wait another expansion for this damn annoying Pursuit tab. What you think, man? What you think, Scream?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's very counterintuitive to why I want my Pursuits tab as far as the way it is now. But again, it's like I can understand if we need to do something to sort of it seemed like it was there to kind of level the playing field a little bit between people who had PC and consoles, as far as like how like the load time of that, you know, like I was that exactly, did they give that as a reason why they instituted it that
honestly, way? No, haven't heard anything specific.
Yeah, get a chance to dive deep with them at Guardian Con.
I was like, it's all speculation. They're not going to give away trade secrets.
So that might be speculation, but it seems like that was what it was for. And I can understand that because there's a significant amount of people who are playing on console.
On console, exactly. That's the majority.
Right. And also, like, if you're going for like a world's first, you know, like, I mean, it's people on PC will always have an advantage because they just have like such a shorter load time when it comes to like anything. So I don't know if that helped a little bit in that. I mean, that did come out right before the last. I'm trying to remember exactly when the Pursuit tab was instituted that way. Was it right before the last raid was released? It was before a raid release. So you know, I can deal with it because we did get so much good stuff. But I wish there was kind of a way. Like, I kind of wish they just organized it a little bit better, like automatic, you know, like like your new things come in like left to right, like you're reading a book, you know, like even that would make it so much easier.
Preach, brother, preach.
So even if they just did like a little change like that in the interim, you know, I might even just be fine with that, period. I don't know what they're going to do, but.
No, I'm with you, Scream.
Yeah, it'd be nice to like, I've seen some where they have like all the bounties in a corner. They have like one strip for specific stuff. And on the right, they had bigger icons, and maybe you could even pick like, you know, drag one over there and be like, I'm working on the Lumina quest. It always lives in this big giant icon, so I know where to go for it. Don't have to, like, some customization to it would be nice for our end, because yeah, you can sort, but it feels like if I sort, I just break it more sometimes. Like newest, oldest, most like rarity, and I'm like, I what? Hold on, what did I just do? Like every time I hit a button, I feel like it's just worse.
And for the love of God, can we please put the pinnacle weapon steps out of the triumphs and into the bounty so I can see the progress and not the search for the specific quotation name of what the step I'm doing. Like, you know, like, I think, find out, at the bottom be like, finish the Pursuit of Honor quest. And you'd be like, well, what is that? Where is it? like what? And then you're fumbling through the triumph, like, where is, and you can only highlight one of those. And it's just like that. Remember when me was playing E? And you were doing Shadow Throne, and I'm like, oh, what gun is that? That sounds crazy. And you're like, yo, that's 21 Delirium, right? And I'm like, yo, that's crazy because I play a lot of Gambit, but because I can't efficiently track all my steps, my acquisition of Delirium is suffering because I'm not paying attention, not being able to pay attention to where I am with the envoys and the infamy reset. And I literally had to just start doing that now because you reminded me, because you had Delirium when we were playing together.
Sorry, I was reading chat and say that again.
No, it's okay.
The last part, not the whole thing. The last part about Delirium.
No, just Delirium. Just how we were playing together and how, the whole fact of the matter is that I was like, yo, that was so cool. And then you were like, yeah, you play a lot of games. But I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what the quest name is and where I am with the steps.
Yeah.
Like, after we played Shadow Throne, I looked and I finally got a chance to see where I'm at with it. But because it was through so many sub menus and deep diving and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to find a way, and I think most of that, and then Par 5, I'll get to your question in a second.
Yeah, Par 5's got a good question. I see why you got distracted.
What they've got, what they're trying to do there is they were trying to take them away from character specific, like they had with Luna's Hal, and take them to account specific with the triumphs, because those are tracked account wide, so you can have a bounty, the triumphs tracked account wide. The annoying thing about that is somehow they figured that out with the new bounties for, like, say, Revoker and Hush. If you pick up the bounty, it tracks across, so those are there. But yeah, the old ones are still annoying. So, like, that's like a learning process that they're going through. Hey, let's have a bounty. Okay, there should be account wide. Okay, let's do this account wide. Let the triumphs, we know those work account wide. Okay, now we got the bounties, but you have to pick them up on every character. It's like, have a way when I log in on my account somewhere and be like, account wide bounty. Like, something should just be like permanently stuck somewhere. And again, I don't know how their systems are built. So that's that's definitely an ask to be like, hey, if there's an account wide bounty, that gets its own home. Like, certain things like those, the Triumph related ones don't have it that, like, and again, as also Dano said, give me numbers. I don't care if you want me to get 15,000 points. Be like, hey, every kill is 5. Winning a match is 100. Like, if you got to get 15,000, at least you can do the math. It was like, get 100% on this bounty. I'm like, what does that mean? Now you can actually go to, like, what the hell? Now you can go to things like Destiny Item Manager, go to Progress, and then you can look. And hardcore players know about DIM, and honestly, if you sit on a computer, you better be using DIM or you're playing the game wrong. But it's still like, why do I have to click on that? I shouldn't have to. That should not be that. The numbers in the game, and I'm hoping maybe from the little Armor 2.0 discussion we get into, look like they might be more in the game in the fall. But again, Destiny still has been like more. They've always said they wanted everything to feel good, but they don't want you to get too deep into the numbers. Well, I'm hoping the word MMO, RPG, and all of that stuff starts changing those things. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a hope.
We getting to Par 5 question.
Yep. So question. Thank you, Par 5, for jumping in as well. He said, I have a friend I play with on PS4 every weekend. You and a lot of people, I'm sure, a lot of people are on PS4. A lot of people are on Xbox. They're on both, but they're on console. I'm really thinking about getting Shadowkeep on PC because of the better performance and graphics. Should I buy a copy for both PC and PS4 so that I can keep playing with my friend, but enjoy the solo bit if it's a PC? Now, my answer is, if you have the money, yeah.
Yes. Emphatic yes.
If you can play on PC, you have a rig that runs it, yes. Absolutely. Main reason, for one, controller is easy to use. So you can just literally plug it in and you're good to go. Cognito showing off his Xbox Elite. So humble brag there. Thank you, Vanna. I appreciate it. But the other piece is honestly, like, you're going to have a Steam friends list, which is going to be huge. You've got actually that whole world that they're dealing with. New light players are going to be coming probably quickest from Steam. So you're going to have a bigger population to play with as well. If you're doing, if you're playing solo, be like, I need to go run strikes, or I need to go run PvP. You want to go play PvP against like 10 million blueberries? Welcome. There's going to be a lot of them. So I would, if you have the funds, yes. If you are limited on your funds and all your friends are on one place like PS4, start there. But if you have the funds and you have the computer, do it 100%.
Absolutely, man. Scream, do you concur?
Yeah.
Hard question. Yeah.
Yes.
Hard question.
I think it's just, the game is just much more enjoyable. You can actually, I always found, having been an Xbox One player before I went to PC, that and playing all of D1 on Xbox, obviously, because it wasn't on PS2, but then switching over in D2. Like, I played the first 3 months, I think, of D2 on Xbox One.
Oh, wow.
And even then, the load times on Xbox One were just so much longer that you would get really kind of like it'd be one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm loading into a place. All right, this is gonna take like 3 or 4 minutes, so I'll put my controller down. I'm gonna go do something.
Go do something.
Or I'll watch something,
Can't
and then
do
I'll
that
come
on
back,
PC.
and I'm like, yeah. But the thing is, like, I come and go do something, and then I get distracted, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna put the game away, and I wouldn't like really get engrossed like I do, you know. So that alone. Not to mention the fact that because you're gonna get all those people coming in from Steam.
Huge.
I honestly think that the player base is going to completely tip
shot
the
in
PC.
the arm, big time.
And then you'll just be getting games that much faster with that many more people. It's only going to increase the experience even more. So yes, but I understand wanting to play with friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like I can understand that's a good reason enough to stay for something, I think, to an extent. But
but if you got the option, baby, go back.
You got the option, definitely.
Go back and forth, man. You got the option. Cross save is a thing.
Yes, that's why. I mean, that's why it's a thing. And that's a lot of people who've been playing. I mean, you've got like creators like, you know, some of them live. You got, you know, Cool Guy was on here. He's an Xbox guy. Fallout we know is on PS4. It's like there's a lot of been on consoles. Because, like, when the time to switch over to PC didn't happen, and then they're 2 years into the Destiny 2 character, and you're like, there's no way in hell I'm redoing this grind. You made the switch later, and it's still been, you know, struggle on some things.
It's so, like I see people go through it. Continue.
So I was just going to say, so you can just literally click a button, your save is everywhere, and you're like, now it's time.
Bro, don't get no better than that, man. So criminally underrated how that feature is going to bring the communities, the player bases, all together. I think Destiny is going to. I think that single feature alone is huge in September. And honestly, I think I said this to you, E. I know we had the whole little Borderlands discussion thing. I think that feature alone is enough to hold off Borderlands without even getting into the content.
I think
Borderlands has crossplay, doesn't it? No?
Oh, no.
I don't believe so.
No. Destiny's the first big one to really have this cross-save thing going on. And I mean, because there's other games that have had, you know, cross-save besides, you know, Fortnite and stuff like that, which is big. But in terms of like the, you know, looter shooter space, Destiny's first, man. This is huge.
Quick pull up just because I had to Google it.
All right, what's first?
Shout out to GameIndustry.biz just because it's the article I clicked on. Gearbox commits to crossplay for Borderlands 3. This feature will not be available immediately, but they said they're coming.
The same thing Division said. Yeah, we want to do it. We want to do it.
I just wanted to confirm because I was like, I thought I'd heard talk about it, and I just honestly wasn't sure. So
it's definitely the cool thing. The only one that surprised me out the box that was Call of Duty. Call of Duty said they were doing it this year.
That's the one. Okay,
that's big for Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's that's big. Yeah,
that's big.
I think Call of Duty needs something big.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, the series been on the decline slightly, and you know, I get it. I mean, that's a huge community as well. So that's a game that's going to benefit. But Destiny, there's no doubt. There's so many people, even my podcast mates, all the other lords. They like PC. They're not giving up their character and their grind to start fresh. They refuse. How could I argue with them, right? We've all done Whisper and escalation protocols and raid armors, and who wants to, because of my love for E, I gave it all up.
You had the opportunity for the PC, and it was free, so timing worked well.
I gave it all up. I left my friends.
Left all your friends. Don't talk to them anymore. You've disowned them. You're out of the circle of trust.
I broke the friendship code, man. I did all for E Last Word podcast.
It was like, of all things you did it for, at least you're playing with the guy you do a podcast with the game for. So
that is true. And I get some free raids and Shattered Thrones out of this, so that's good.
There is some backpack space occasionally if you catch me.
Exactly. I got to cash in those chips. Got to throw the guilt trip on. Get some free stuff out of it.
Oh, man.
Shout out to E. Now I willingly came. Once that deal. They basically did the free-to-play on PC first with me, in a sense, with Battle.net. Yep. So it was a no-brainer. It was just the beginning is rough though. We're having nothing. Oh man, like a kindergarten out there with the blue. Ooh, it was not good, man. It's not good.
But it was actually good for you to kind of have perspective when it comes to materials and the grind and stuff like that, because you were a little fresh into starting over. So you're like, hey, what's your currency situation like? Some save them better than others. But on like, say even for me though, I wouldn't be in the same place I am with like my materials if I was starting when you did. So like people who come in fresh are going to have a completely different thing, like a feel for what's the enhancement core economy like? What are my planetary materials? Why do I have to go grind these? What are these planetary bounties? Like what is happening? So there's different things you've got to picture because like we're all hardcore. If you're probably listening to this, if the three of us are on here, most of our guests, we're hardcore Disney players. We have a lot of everything done multiple times over. We're not like, oh, I'll pick it up for a couple hours on the weekend, maybe do a strike, maybe, try and matchmake into here. Don't try any of the big stuff, much less like, oh, wait, there are bounties at the gunsmith. Like, if you're not, like, watching, watching the Vidocs, if you're not catching the Bungie.net, like, blog articles, you may not have a clue half the stuff that's in here. So, but hopefully, I was like, for some average people, just like, oh, I get on, boot it up. Oh yeah, there's strikes over here, some Crucible, oh, Gambit's here, cool. Like, oh, this is the new campaign thing for me to work on with the forges. But yeah, there's a lot. So crossplay heals friendships. Oh my god.
It does, man. Look, you know how happy people are. Like, yo, play with you, get to play with me again. But of course, I gotta be arrogant. Scream when I come down to Xbox, I gotta be like, hold on, it is LordCognito that has ascended down from the master race to deal with my loyal subjects here in the lowly console.
Let me go back to your 85% view ratio.
Field of view, man. That is like an unspoken love for people.
It is.
Oh,
I'm going to talk until you have it.
Yup, I'm going to talk so much. Oh, the molasses of this 30 frames. Okay.
What is
I guess I'll help you.
What is the screen shake I feel?
I don't. I got to tease.
Oh, man.
What else we got, East? What's going on with these twids? And what's going on in these Destiny streets, man?
So obviously we've been playing, having some fun. We are close to Shadowkeep, and we've actually got a few articles thanks to Polygon. A couple of interviews with the gentlemen. They kind of are breaking the interview segments up and dropping some knowledge from those. Two of the big ones we've got so far. One of them, something we're all looking forward to, Mortal Kombat style. We got finishing moves. So I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown, and then I want to get your guys' thoughts about how they actually kind of work, basically, for finishing moves. Basically, they say it's going to be a mod for your for an armor slot, and they're going to think of it as combat emotes. So I don't know if you'll probably get a functional one to start off with, and then they're almost going to be something to where you can get probably potentially more from Eververse. So it's going to throw a little flash and flare. I'm sure they will give you one for the function of doing what needs to actually happen. But the other cool thing about finishing moves, which we didn't know until this article actually came out, was kind of the benefits to them. So the benefits of a finishing move, it's kind of a risk-reward situation. So say I equip one that's going to turn the enemy into a loot pit, or not a loot, but say an ammo pinata when I finish them. So drop a bunch of ammo on the ground, but it's the risk of getting up there and actually getting in close range. And there's going to be different finishing moves that actually are going to be able to do different things for you. So they're going to work kind of cosmetically. Some may be coming from Eververse, like they're actually going to be rare. Some may be purchasable, things like that. But I'm sure the function hopefully will be in-game. But just the fact that they do have function, maybe ammo pinata or who else, maybe it's like nail it, everybody gets like an overshield on your team, or maybe a damage buff or something. Like, how do you guys think that's going to go? Any like wants for abilities or anything like that? Scream, what do you think?
I hope there's a dragon tail kick.
That's the best one already. Whoosh.
I want a dragon tail to a fan kick, and then the guy and then does a law pose.
Well, that's amazing already. I don't think anybody can top that.
And I think that the system that they're doing is, I think it's the best way to do it. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting exploits that are going to come in early on with this thing. I just know it's going to
He's
happen.
always like, all right, so the finishing move, what you can do is you can punch the boss into wall. He gets stuck there. Now you can shoot his toe for an hour and he won't do damage to you.
And if you drop a raid banner at this moment,
you got infinite ammo and supers. If you hit the super glitch ammo bubble bug, like, oh my god.
You
Scream in rare form.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. When I first saw it, I was like, "What is this? Like, is this just like Is this just like you dropping some flair on him after you kill him? Like salt."
Okay, I don't think it's quite like Mortal Kombat where he's sitting there and kind of that drunken stupid like, finish him, and it's gonna be like, and then you go up and actually uppercut him.
Right. Like,
even though I would love to do that to Crota. That would feel good.
So I was wondering if it was like you have to beat a boss to a point, and then like at some point somebody has the option to go up and do that, or if it was actually like a risk versus reward kind of situation that has like a bonus. So I'm glad it is. Because it obviously makes room for a lot more, a little bit more manipulation of it. But
so yeah, I mean, to clarify, like I didn't say it,
very cool.
But they did say like when enemies go below a certain health threshold, they're going to have an indicator that means they can be finished. So they have to be, they're going to be able to know.
Right.
That's dope.
So yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's an interesting thing. It wasn't ever something I thought would come to Destiny. Facts. I was like, finishing moves. Huh.
I was floored.
All right. I see you, Bungie. I see you. But yeah, so one of their more creative forays into I don't know where.
I think Ed Boon made a studio visit and was like, "Hey, how's Bungie going? You should put finishing moves in there. It worked for us. You should do it too."
It is. Ed Boon, responsible.
And then, yeah, it's like what it's going to take to actually use the finishing move is super energy, even though they say how much is still in flux. So, Cognito, what about you? What are you thinking about him?
It's why you love Bungie, man. I mean, it's like you said, like thanks and stuff like that. Like that's the last thing I would think would come to Destiny, but I could already visualize the implementation. Like, yo, it's gonna be mad cool. Shout out to Lord Addict because like he's that guy. Right, he's the guy that when you're fighting the boss, he wants to get the last hit, and he's like, "Yeah, like my Titan was the reason." Like, so for him to have this ability for an indicator to put this finish. Now the question is going to be for me: is it limited to red and yellow bars? You know what I'm saying? Orange bars, right? All them yellow bars, all them bosses. Are we gonna be able to hit up Callus? Like, I don't know about that, right? So I guess I'm curious as to who the enemies that applies to. But even if it's just everyone minus those mega bosses, still a cool feature. It's gonna add a lot of visual flair to it. Bungie's gonna get, and again, they've already mentioned Eververse. And one thing I don't mind, and I think I've had this discussion with you, is when it comes to fix your face.
I was like, you called me out. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
This is good. Is that when I had this discussion with you in regards to implementations of Eververse, like people don't realize Destiny is the type of game we will spend that money for cool emotes. We will spend that money without question.
I had to buy the Michael Jackson one. That just literally
I literally was thinking of Michael Jackson in my head. Like literally was just about to say. That's what me and you are the same type of time. And it's just like, now think about all the fun karate movies, pop culture. You're gonna have, like Scream said, people are gonna be doing dragon kicks, and you know what I'm saying? Like they could really take this somewhere, right? And if I'm laughing at Bender doing yoke, could you imagine Bruce Lee 1-inch punching a boss and
oh my god, just
poof, and then the boss flies. Like you're gonna have so much.
It better be there.
Oh, you know the one that's I'm asking for it.
1-inch punch. That's gotta happen now.
Bro, it's gonna be so lit. And
actually, I want this finishing move. I want the snap.
Think about,
and they just turn into dust.
Yeah, the dust. Exactly. Yo, think about you doing one of your excruciatingly difficult. Shout out to he's got a great video out right. Please, if y'all ain't watched this video, the stages of a solo player.
Of grief, yeah.
Oh, the grief, hilarious. Like, imagine going through all that, and you finally get it done, and that indicator pops up on that boss after all those unsuccessful runs, and he gets to do what he wants to do to the boss that was tormenting him. Oh, I already know it's gonna be legendary. It's a great feature.
That'd be a nice way to finish like a video and be like, yeah, it's like whatever boss you're working on, get him low and just run up and be like, I'll take you, and just like run through and just send him off. That'd be amazing. That would be a really cool. That'd be like some good highlight. I see some highlight reel type YouTube clips or a montage of finishing moves or something like that definitely happening. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're allowed to have some fun with those.
This could be another cash cow, another revenue stream. I'm telling y'all, man, this is gonna be another one. This is ingenious what they're doing, and so far, Solo Bungie's been on fire right now with these thought processes. So we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, we've got ornaments coming out of Eververse. You've got these types of things potential. It's like, yeah, I'll spend money on that a little bit here and there. But it's like we all know it's going to Bungie. Like it's 100% theirs now. Like that's a little better.
Facts.
Man, like they're gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to. I don't know. You guys said some awesome ones already. The snap would be cool, but it's not gonna. It does. But the 1-inch punch, that's really cool.
Yes.
A dragon tail whip, if it could be an Ahamkara tail, you could swing it that way. But yeah, just a big uppercut just seems like because he had the uppercut. He had like a big. I know the cross. I think it was Dave Samuels in the video. He was talking about him. He winds up, looks at his fist, and then punches. And then I forget what the hunter does like the kind of horizontal spin for like a double knife attack. So there's some pretty cool ones that I remember, and that's just the ones they're starting with. So they can keep adding those. I'm with you guys. I never expected to see it. And so in the Vidoc, I was like, finishing moves. Holy
finishing moves. It's that thing you didn't know you needed.
Absolutely is, yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is dope.
That'd be funny if they had a snap one where as soon as you do it, like if you're in a party, like the two members disappear.
That'd be too funny. You're in the raid and you're like,
oh man,
and they like fade away until they walk again. That'd be really cool.
Right.
Yeah. The pop culture references, if they want to take it there and legally, they
they
can some things.
I was like, they gotta probably ask on the snap. That's a little specific.
Yeah, that's very
Because I do remember things coming out about like Fortnite dances, and it was the.
But those game studios have won. Shout out to Hogue Law. I had him on a little podcast. I had this exact topic, and I was like, Hogue, man, do these content creators, do the originators of the these moves, do they have it? Now the thing is, where you may be right, E, is that dance moves, from my understanding, is much harder to fight.
Yeah.
Now these are like maybe iconic finishing moves and poses. I don't know. I'll have to revisit this with Hogue. I have to get him on just to question where this could go. And he's a big Destiny fan.
That's definitely something they don't need to like piss off somebody for a lawsuit. So they'll probably play it easy unless they can work
in the
out
beginning.
some
Yeah,
kind of deal.
absolutely.
So.
Should talk to whoever does the marketing for Tekken.
Oh, I love me some Tekken Scream. That's my joint.
Because they have all the finishing moves of like so many classic martial artists. I mean, there's something from everybody in there.
What?
So I wonder what they do.
Yeah, that's true. Tekken's been getting away with it. Right. Tekken's been getting away with it forever. Like they literally have Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan in their game, so to speak, right? So yeah, that's a good point. They may be able to get away with a lot of this stuff.
So finishing moves will be awesome. But probably my biggest thing, and I still don't have that much clarification on it, is Armor 2.0.
Oh, here we go.
So I'm going to open this up to you guys first. I'm going to give a little intro of just kind of what we got from the Polygon article. Basically, they did confirm it's going to have an energy system. So you power up the armor to increase its capacity, which lets you equip more mods. The stats we know are coming back. They said mobility, or... Hold on. No, intellect, discipline, and strength. Those are all returning. And they also said mobility, resilience, and recovery are going to have a bigger... They're going to widen the range of those three. So the range of, I guess, the abilities. So hopefully it actually does a little bit more. But they don't know quite what that means. And they also said you're going to be able to do things like stack. And this is where I'll kind of let you guys dive deep while I take a little breather for a sec. So say you like hand cannon reloading. Well, you can put 2 hand cannon reload things on there and actually double stack towards that. But say, because when we looked at the picture before, because I broke down the one frame in the damn Vidoc, you had like recovery and it was worth 5 energy. And then it looked like you had recovery and it was worth 3 energy. So I'm kind of wondering, one, so these are the questions I want to ask you guys. Or I guess here's 3 parts. One, thoughts about this whole system. Thoughts on it, any more of the little tidbits that we got. 2, do you think these if you double stack, is it just going to be the same as what we have now? Like, is the weight of the new stuff going to have... Are you going to have to really go specific for a build, or do you think you're actually going to be better than we are now? And then 3, how do you guys think we're going to get the mods, especially things like enhanced sniper rifle targeting that currently is only on, like, Dreaming City or Raid Armor. Where do you think the enhanced ones may come from? And stuff like that. So, Scream, Cognito, whoever wants to go first, kick it off.
Scream, hit it, baby. What you got?
I'm personally into this. I mean, this was one of those things that I was always kind of like a 13 tier kind of like questy guy in D1. Like that was definitely one of the things I spent a lot of time trying to cultivate on my character. So I'm into any system that promotes more of that.
Yes.
I like the breakdown of it. And it was one of the, I mean, honestly, it was something that I thought didn't need to go when they turned in when D2 came out, and I've missed it since then. And now that seems like they're even going, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be, I feel like it's probably going to be as involved as the system as in D1, which I think it was almost by accident, but it became very, you know, like a good way to spend your time once you hit that, like whatever the power cap was at any given expansion. So I think the way that they're sort of bringing in more ability, or it's like they're bringing, which ones are they bringing back? Are they bringing back like
they're bringing
stamina?
back the original ones? They're bringing back discipline.
Okay, that was the name,
strength.
right?
So those three: intellect, discipline, and strength. And the remember the current ones are still going to exist. So
right.
mobility, resilience, recovery still there. So they're adding the D1.
Right. So I think like the add of those three is probably going to, you know, like amount to how involved it was in D1, which is, I don't know if it'll be more than that. Hopefully it is. I think you are going to be mainly like going for a specific build. I mean, I don't know if that'll necessarily be like, you know how sometimes it's like they retract from what is there to allow you to build more specifically in the talent tree. I don't know if it's gonna, rather than just building on top of how good you are currently. So like, because I think if you were able to like build specifically from like where it is now as like a base, you might be like pretty godly if you really went for it, you know.
Right. And they did say they are worried, they are still tuning the article as far as power levels and stuff like that.
So I think they're gonna have to sort of tune it down slightly to account for that. As far as like where the mods will come from, I mean, I hope they come from just like, I hope it's simple, but I hope it's, you know, like Nightfall bosses or completion of like not the highest level activities, but you know, some sort of mid-level activity, maybe something that requires a group of 3. You know, I'm trying to think, maybe like you know, I mean, even like the forges, you know, maybe like, well, maybe not a forge, but like maybe on occasion drop from like a forge boss, you know, something like that. I think would be good. Or maybe if you have so many different of this thing, you can turn it in for one. Maybe if you have so many different mods, you can turn them in for one. I don't know if they've really broken down where they hope those come from, but that would be what I would hope for personally.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, this is good stuff. And shout out to my article that I put out on LordCognito.net this morning. I actually was talking about this specifically. And basically, you know, to me, when I hear this stuff, I think of them getting back to RPG sensibilities, right? Getting back to that MMO path that we all want Destiny to be. And I think this is the start, right? We're getting transmog, we're getting this other stuff.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one, man. So we got to give it up, you know, when possible. I know E a little upset in the article that they specifically mentioned, and I touched this subclass. He's gonna bring that work in a minute. He's chomping at the bit. I know. See what the lip just did? That exactly. That I already know. So so the thing is though, like for me, armor is so near and dear to me. Like again, in my article, I even said it, which is like we always get weapon balances, bro.
Yeah.
Like armor has been out here suffering. You know what I mean? So to have this these new features are really refreshing to me. Shout out to the chat. I believe Halo Bear. I gotta see does this mean super mods are now going away? Is this their way of controlling that whole thing with people stacking the 5, you know, mods or whatever based on your gear set? The thing that excites me is the growing with power level on your gear. So the thing where they mentioned where it's like, okay, as you keep playing and you're doing things, you unlock an additional mode, and he mentioned, having the 2 hand cannon slots for reloading or whatever. So there's gonna be a lot of balancing involved. Things can't get too crazy, so I think they're gonna nerf some abilities currently. Some mods, I should say, currently. But I kind of like it. I like the configurability, because at the end of the day, like, this is where I currently stand with Destiny and Armor. And this is why he teases me, right, about why am I wasting material? This is why, like, I am that guy. I'm like, yo, today I'm running, I got 4 bounties and I need linear fusion rifle kills. Guess what I'm running? I'm running my helmet, I'm running reserves, my arms, I'm running linear fusion scavenge. I literally have an armor piece set aside for every single type of weapon build, so I have maximum ammo, maximum reserves on pickups. Even with hand cannons that I like, I gotta have
looks the way it does.
Bro, this is how I am. I'm the creature of that minutia, right? So now
I'm nodding heavily.
you feel me, Scream, right? I'm telling that truth. I'm speaking and preaching the word right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the thing with me is, now you're telling me, okay, I can, because another thing about Destiny, let's be real, it's the fashion game, right? There's some shout out to the art team. Destiny is a beautifully designed, as far as armor is concerned and aesthetics. Few can really mess with this game in that. So when you get a good piece of armor, right, and you're like, oh great, grenade launcher scavenger. Oh great, primary ammo.
Are solid right now. Don't knock them.
Okay, you're right, but like primary ammo reserve.
Oh my!
Really,
literally,
my dude?
boots, and chest can all just go out. They're done. Like, I don't know of a boot or a chest that I actually care about when it comes to legendaries.
Chest is flinch with shotguns.
Primary primary ammo finder.
Thank you.
Because I'm struggling to get my primaries ever.
And on PC, like traction, and it's just some things I look at it and I'm like, why is this even a slot? You know what I mean? And like you said, chest especially. So now you're telling me, you're giving me the ability to customize the way the armor that I like, the fly gear that I like, into these specific ways you're gonna have identity with that character. That's where the transmog synergy and all this stuff is really gonna come together. So I am about all of this. I'm curious to see how deep they go. I'm curious to see if it's going to be a D1 thing, Scream, where, remember D1, where, like, remember when you got an exotic in D1 and you got all those bubbles?
Right?
And you was like, how are they going to handle this?
I miss the bubbles.
Remember the bubble? Yo, that grind was hard though. Remember? You was like, damn, I need 450 more spin medals. I got, like, you had to
wait for the next Iron Banner. Oh.
Yo, you was hurt. You was hurt when you had that exotic, because you're like, damn, I'm happy I got it. But now the work begins to make it work. But it's gonna be interesting to see how they implement it.
I wonder, honestly.
Bugatti.
Oh no, I was like, when you say that about earning the bubbles back, I know a lot of people don't want that back, and I'm not trying to like push for it. But no, I've always wondered why something about Destiny 2 has felt different than D1. And it has been that, like, the connection you get, like, the investment you put into it, like, this is the good gun, this is the one I want to get into. Is it? I've always wondered what has felt different about D2, and I've always kind of wondered if it's that. And I'm getting feedback a little bit from one of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's that I call it emotional investment. You know what I'm saying? Because when you put in that work, you feel attached. I think the closest I feel with that in D2 right now, which I love a lot, is catalysts. Because you get that catalyst, right, Scream? And you're like, yo, you see what the potential could be when it's unlocked. Right. So then you're like, okay, what I got to do? You know what I'm saying? First, what do I have to do to try to get it, right? What activity I have to do? And then it's like, okay, when I do get it to drop, okay, what do they want me to do to fill it out? And like the one that I really want so bad as a badge of honor, because you know how much I love the sleeper, is the sleeper catalyst. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still working on it. I finally got all my 3 EP weapons on thing. I still got to do the whisper stuff with you and Sinister. And then I got to do that damn raid, Spire, you know what I'm saying, to get it. But it's like a badge of honor of your commitment to that weapon. And I kind of like that. And I think that's the closest D2 has come to D1 in that. That's what
Catalyst was still... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say catalysts have been nice since they came in, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, like the thing in D1 that probably the catalysts feel the most similar to in D1 was like the Necrochasm. But like that's kind of how like a catalyst feels to me to an extent. It's not, I mean, and that was one type of exotic quest in D1. But it was definitely an emotionally involved one. I was just grinding that one guy for hours waiting for the drop.
Remember that? Yeah.
Drop it, damn you!
Drop it.
I remember I started that when they like had docked the drop rate of it too, and they didn't tell anybody for like, I was like,
you're like, dude, I've been out here for hours killing this guy. What happened?
Right? Yeah, for real.
But for me, basically what I'd say is like Armor 2.0, I've got more questions than I've got answers now. So it just opens up more doors. The energy system for me is interesting because my curiosity say you power up the armor to increase its capacity, which lets you equip more mods. Okay, it's like I know when you max it out, you'll be able to equip more. Fine. How do you power it up? Do you pay for it in enhancement cores? Do you pay for it in legendary shards? Do you pay for it in time used in activities? Like, how do you get the energy on this thing? I'd love to know. We don't know squat. So that's like more questions than I've got answers. But it is an energy system. They clarified that. When it comes to the stats, now we have 6 of them. I'm wondering, because right now, armor stats don't matter.
Right. Correct.
They don't. Like, I literally went to do my like solo high roller nightfall build for this week. And while I didn't equip menagerie armor, because it really didn't matter, like, go wear menagerie armor. But armor doesn't matter. Like, I went in there with just, like, all garbage perks. Did not matter what I wore. I was just literally power 750. And that's the only thing that mattered. And then my weapons, I was like, okay, I got to be able to handle the shield. So those are the important part. Armor, who gives a crap? Like, that's kind of the point I'm at with armor right now and have been for a while because the reserve, like, and I'm not, my vault is stupidly full because I have like reserve, scavenger. Like if I get a helm that has like, what would it be like? Machine gun, dexterity, and machine gun reserves. And then I get arms that have like machine gun, scavenger, and machine gun reloader. I'm like, dude, I'm like set for machine guns. Sweet. I'm feeling awesome about it.
Yep.
But that is the only thing is it is related to my weapons.
Let's keep it a buck, y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Who really out here masterworking armor right
now?
No. Scream, are you masterworking armor?
I have not masterworked one piece of armor.
Salute to Scream. I've never even done it myself. I'm not.
The only time I did it one time was literally just to see how many cores it would take so I could do the math of what it would cost. That is the only time I have ever masterworked armor is to see how much one piece cost so I would know the total picture of masterworking an entire loadout.
Yeah, I remember you did the stat, right?
It was 96 cores.
Oh, no, that's never getting done. That's no. I was just, and then for what benefit, right? It was like, oh, you have 15%.
So it would be every piece of armor would be every core, basically every level is worth 1% of damage reduction. So say you like all the pieces you wore were like arc resistance and you had a full set that you actually liked, which is hard enough. If it was all arc resistance, then you would have like a 25%, I think, arc resistance. And then I think your super would have some benefit to it too. But like, it's pretty minor for the cost that you get out of it in the situations where you'll use it. You have 3 different types of damage coming at you. So honestly, it's like you probably could spread out a little bit and be better off. But who's going to spend all the damn cores? Like, why? Like that was a completely lost functionality. Even when they, and I was like, I mean, in the start of D2, we didn't have like, we had squat, we didn't have perks at the start of D2. So we got perks. That was a step in the right direction. But like the whole masterworking tiny, that was a waste. So try again. And they are trying again because we've been talking about armor, like exotics and all those things. Now here's the question. That just literally popped in my head because exotics. Now what if like a new, like all our exotics you have, they don't have the new stats on them.
Right.
So it's like new stats, new maybe mod slots. Are they going to be specific mods that they keep? How are all these exotic armors that we already have, which some are better than others, but how are those going to drop in D3, the Shadowkeep?
Scream. I have a theory. Oh, Scream.
You go first.
Okay. They've got to do the old school thing where it's like you get it again, and it's the 2.0 version. You know what I'm saying? You can't touch the existing ones. Those ones have already kind of baked in, set in stone. I can't see them doing anything with that. So I think it's going to be a situation like how Xur does now, right? When Xur comes around, he's got the random roll on said armor piece or said, whatever. They're going to have to introduce that. All I'm hoping is that Destiny is sitting on so many cool armor sets that they bring these things forward so that we can have more diversity with the way we look. That's my main thing. So we have diversity with the way we look with all these feature sets. I'm cool with that. But now if you're telling me we're going to do this new thing, kind of like Weapons 2.0, right? But there's still a ton of weapons that we still like, yo, fam, when is this going to get, looking at you, Perfect Paradox. I'm looking at my Perfect Paradox like, damn, I really want to, do something with this. And it's just like, I'm not going to spend all this, money, as far as an investment for it. That's what I got. What about you, Scream?
Yeah, I agree. It's honestly kind of one of those things where when it comes to exotics, I always, especially exotic armor, I always find there's one piece of exotic armor that I always use, like it's, and it just, it's always kind of like, why am I going to use, like, I mean, there's things with just for an example, like with my Warlock, where I can get a pretty good super rolling if I use Nova Bomb, and I'm trying to remember the helmet, but it gives you like instant,
a skull down.
Yeah,
Skull down.
Yeah.
Right, but like, why am I going to use that when my Armenstein, I think it's, or the Karenstein armlets, I can get health back every single time I kill an enemy, and it's like
very underrated exotic. Very underrated.
Right. So I almost never use anything but them. As far as like getting them back in a different way, I hope there's like a way where if you have them, you can, like, if you have the old version, you trade in for the new version, like on a chance. Like maybe, I don't know if have they gone into specifically any ideas that they have for how you trade up, or is this complete speculation?
Complete speculation at this point.
Okay.
They're really being tight-lipped.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something. I would hope that maybe like there's a way, like say Xur, you can trade in your old ones, like turn them in, and you get like a token that you can redeem that gives you like a RNG roll on a new piece of 2.0, that kind of thing.
Oh, that would be nice.
And maybe it's not specific. Or maybe it's just a random roll for that specific piece. But
that would be nice.
Beyond that, I'm not totally sure. I'll watch with
Scream.
You cut out there, little Scream.
Oh, I'll watch with weighted breath.
No, okay.
I thought it was something like that, but you just cut off, and I was like, "You watch with," and we're like, dramatic pause,
right?
Very pregnant pause there. So, yeah, my question honestly is mostly going to be about how the hell we get the mod components. Like, I've got a Reverie Dawn helm that has enhanced sniper rifle targeting, and a Notorious chest that has enhanced sniper rifle dexterity. Like, am I going to be able to break those down and pull the mods off of them? Is that old stuff? Is literally like Shadowkeep going to be a line, and it's just everything's new going forward? It's like, those are some of the questions, because honestly, crap, I'd go through and delete most of my, unless it's just like perfect stuff that might kind of tide me over till I get some good rolls. Like, unless it's those, like, I'll dump everything if I knew that, but I don't know.
I think it's happening.
I'm honestly okay with it. Like,
yeah, I think it's literally, and I would be okay with it too. You know what I'm saying? They're like, because I think, didn't they already kind of start some initiatives like, hey guys, if this, delete it now. They've already started with something.
Well, that was the Bright Dust stuff.
Yeah, that was the Bright
Dust. I wouldn't be surprised they pull, like that week before launch, give you a taste, right, of Armor 2.0. And then it's like, yo, just for a heads up, before Shadowkeep goes live, if you're running around with this, you don't have to hold on to this old stuff. It's going to be useless, or it's not going to have the same effect, or you should trade it in for these parts or whatever. If there's some new currency, who knows? But I think there will be some sort of onboarding / transitionary phase when they probably implement 2.0. Because this is a lot of stuff they're going to add.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have new stats on our characters to look at and track, and then we look over at our old armor. It's not going to help those at all. So, like, a piece of blue armor is probably going to have more stats than we've got now. So, I mean, as we're leveling up, honestly, it might just be like, we're clean slated. Here we go. It's like, if I knew I got nothing from the old armor, like I couldn't break it down, get anything from it, I honestly don't know, because it seems the way it looks like with Armor 2.0 is like, if you unlock the ability to use, say, like, Recovery 5, for example, like the higher recovery, it seemed in my head, it's just like, you pick it, but it's always available. It's not like I have to go use, like, I have to keep my 17 super mods or something in case I need to use those later. So there's not like a currency anymore with mods. It's like inherent to just like the armor selection energy piece itself. So I'm wondering, I literally just have more questions than answers the more I think about it. It's ridiculous. So
I always thought that maybe it'd be interesting. I don't know if this is, again, maybe something that they're kind of doing, but I always thought that Destiny 2, like, armor modifications would do well with like a Diablo style, like slot system where you have like a piece that has so many different slots, and you can like stack however many fit in that block space on the weapon.
Yeah,
I mean, and then maybe so like you get sort of like these weird patterns of like,
you're talking about like Diablo sockets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, Diablo sockets, yeah,
it's
something interesting like that, but.
Definitely a possibility there. We got to see how they're going to handle this thing and how they will on board. That will be the key.
Yeah, I just want some clarification before it happens. And there was one little piece I feel like when it mentioned for Destiny 2 will be live on Steam on it. Like, I swear they're describing that Steam like Shadowkeep live. It sounds like, and I'm praying it's not, but like the verbiage that I keep seeing is like it's day and date, and I'm like, you better let me move my stuff over before.
Like we kind of talked. We talked. Didn't we kind of talk to them?
Yeah,
about that?
We talked a little, and I feel like I keep seeing something somewhere that like a little pre-switch of some, or like, let me make sure it's there. I don't even care if I play. I just want to log in and be able to see my characters, but I can't hit a server or something until the 17th. Like, I just want to know it's there. So I'll be very curious about the Steam Switch. So yeah, we just keep piling these questions on, and we don't have answers yet. So the summer hopefully will open some
thing.
But the TWAB did drop yesterday night. Thank you to Cosmo. We did get a chance to meet that gentleman. Still always taller than I expect. Always. I'm like, what's up, man? He's easy to spot at Guardian Con. He's definitely one of the taller ones. But they said, we've begun to see shadows lurking around this season. The moon's haunted, everything like that. So people are working on triumphs. And they also talked about the cheese a little bit. So, but the big thing we got next week, they're a little bit of, it's a light couple of weeks. Iron Banner is next week. So we've got July 23rd to July 30th. You've got your boost in Valor. So if you're working on Valor resets for any reason, it's a good time to spend some time in there for any reason. And then, of course, if you guys are working on the quest path that you go through, they say they tweaked some stuff a little bit, but not for this Iron Banner. It's going to be for the next Iron Banner. So some of those where you need like all the kills or whatever the steps are that were slow. I think it was the grenades people were having trouble with. That will be tweaked, I guess, in the final one. So not yet. But the big section that I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this one, or at least what your interpretation of the verbiage is, a Guardian always pays their debts. As part of Season of Opulence, Guardians are paying homage to their previous adventures to earn some awesome rewards. Some of us leveraged an exploit in the Tribute Hall, taking advantage of Callus' generosity with some clever character switching shenanigans to place that free tribute over and over and over. You get it.
Scream alert!
Who did what now?
This allowed some players scream to skip the tribute experience entirely, making other players who had done bounties and pledged large amounts of their resources feel kind of irked. We will be fixing this glitch on July 30th as we kick off Solstice of Heroes. As all of you know, it is not our policy to punish players who discover cheeses, loot caves, or workarounds in the game. If you took advantage of the shortcut, you can rest easy. You won't be marched in front of Callus for sentencing. I love how this is all written, by the way. It's great. However, you will not be able to keep using all of your ill-gotten rewards until you square up things with Callus. The tribute's place total will will now accurately reflect tributes based on your accounts. If you use the exploit, and this is the one I want to know what you guys think, because the way I read this, it could be interesting, because I know I helped somebody do the cheese, so I'm not sure if they're going to be mad. Because I didn't get a chance to do the cheese. I was like already in it before I knew. If you use the exploit, the number will update to the properly reflected total number of tributes you've actually placed. The activation and equipping of both the Bad Juju Catalyst and X marks the spot emotes are also gated by your total number of tributes placed. Bad Juju will not require you to have 18 tributes placed for it to be used. If you choose your way to the Catalyst or emote, you have some time to start placing legit tributes before July 30th. So do you think, now the way I read this, I want your thoughts. Like you're not going to be able to use the emote or the Catalyst if you cheesed it. Is that the way you guys read it? Like they're going to deactivate those.
I think you'll be able to use it up until they reset it. So you can, I feel like what they're saying is that you can basically use what you've gotten up until they reset it to make sure that you're squared away by the time they reset it. But if you haven't by then, yeah, I think they're snatching that away from you.
So they're taking the Catalyst away?
How does that work?
I mean, I don't know how they're doing.
Are they gonna gray it out? Are they gonna gray it out like how they did with remember the PlayStation exclusives that came with Xbox and PC? How you gonna get in jail with Juju? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how it'll display, but that's certainly what it sounds like. It's like use the Catalyst to make sure that you'll hold on to the Catalyst.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like if you don't get your 500 kills or whatever with the Catalyst and you don't equip it, is that going to be unlocked? If you get the 500 kills, you even turn it on, are they still going to grade out of if your tribute hall's not? I'm wondering how far they reach with that that pullback.
They definitely given themselves some room to stretch it if they want.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Like, they won't take your gun away, but the Catalyst you'll have to really earn.
Nah, so. You know what they need to do? They need to shame y'all and put something over your guardian.
You have a dunce cap at the start of Shadowkeep.
Guess I'm heading to the forges.
Yo, this is funny. This is
Black Wings is out there. Juju jail.
Juju jail. They gotta catch y'all. They heard about Scream. This is payback.
Actually, no. It'd be perfect. You have the little Bad Juju skull just floating around you as kind of a little emote, just like glaring at you constantly because you cheated to get it.
Its arms crossed. You know.
Yeah, it's just sitting over here like.
Yo, but how foul is that if they wave splitter your Juju and you can't touch it until you get squared up? This is hilarious.
So I think
it's the greatest part of the top.
I was like, yeah, I think the gun will not go away, but the use of the Catalyst or the emote, those are the ones you risk, and I think they might leave you. So that's the big one.
Some debts to clear up.
Yeah, you guys got to put some work in, or at least farm some things.
Scream is actively get around it.
He's literally logging in right now.
Logging in right now.
Actively farming.
Taping up the controller.
There you go. There you go. That's what's up. This is funny. This is a good one.
Yep.
Oh man.
So
interesting enough, before we move on, a certain other exploit had one mentioned.
The farm?
I'm surprised by that. I thought the hammer was coming down on both. I was like, let me see how they handle this.
Honestly,
there was something I thought they tweeted out.
I didn't see any direct
I haven't seen anything about the farm.
Foragenomics.
Maybe I just heard somebody else saying, I think it's fixed. Maybe I got enough comments on the video saying, I think it's fixed because I got dropped to orbit, and maybe I'm confusing it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they've casually tagged that in the background because I feel like I have been getting kicked more and more. So
Yo, the
fine
chat
print.
is lit right
And
now.
you
Hold
get
on, hold on. Chat lit right now. Blackwing said Bungie needs to make an emote that is just a guardian eating a block of cheese and drinking wine and call it "I earned this." Shadow says make it like the aura when you get 100K in Nightfall, but instead you're forever given a permanent emblem until you get legit. Yo, I like that one, Shadow. Gaster, I want shame. They should have the shame emote from Game of
Shame.
Yo.
Shame.
Shame.
Player.
Shame. Shame.
Oh, this is great. No, think about how much fun they can have with this. Even though they get killed for doing it, but it would be
Isn't there
funny.
that ghost emote that like has it's just like the projection of a piece of cheese? Is that
Oh.
real?
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
you got to
man.
stay with a permanent cheese emblem until you get squared away.
That would be too funny. Be like, well, how do you
Classic.
get that emblem, dude? You don't want to know.
You don't want this life, man.
You got to get banned for a week for this.
Oh man, brother's gonna be out here serving sentences.
It's in the Secret Triumph tab under "Don't do this."
Don't do this. Oh man, this is the fun this could have. Could be great.
So yeah. So yes, enjoy it while you can is all they will say to you. And that's honestly one of those things Bungie has been decent about. Be like, hey, game's broken. Okay, you got it. Well, we're gonna play with it a little bit this time, but we're not taking it all away. So.
Well, at least one thing we gotta say real quick is that unlike some games, Anthem, that if they find something exploiting their game, Bungie is playful with it in the sense they know what you're doing, but it's not going to be one of them situations. And I remember what happened, and it was just it was crazy. So at least I like their lighthearted humor with stuff, and they take responsibility that it's a mistake on their part, and but obviously they're gonna do some justice, get things squared away. So I got to give them that. For the most part, they're very cool when things like this happen, I feel.
Yep. So
Agreed.
Yeah, they handle them well.
You found something that's broken. Good job.
We'll fix it as soon as we can.
Right, we'll
till it
fix
is.
it. And thanks. That's
remember when Anthem had that joint? It was a different energy.
Serious stuff, yeah. Well,
I mean, when you ban really ban for using an in-game thing, it's like, and it's honestly the thing about that was worse. It's a PvE game. You do nothing but break the game for yourself. Literally no PvP, no implications of oh, this is gonna be too easy. You're making the game. That one person make the game easier for themselves, or they're getting more loot for them. It's like, who cares? Right. It was always weird.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's still a mistake in their game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, completely.
Did want to shout out movie of the week though. Quick, watch it, check it out. Solo Riven.
Really, I haven't seen it yet.
After it was done during Revelry because you could have the buff and some things were kind of broken. This is the first time post patch. Wow. So I know it was I want to say it's Baxley is the gentleman who did it. And then shortly after I saw Slayer Age did it because I think he probably used a similar strat. But dude, to do it alone even during Revelry takes a lot of guessing. They were in there for 10 hours to get reasonable attempts because you have to guess on the eyes. You absolutely have to guess. So to solo it at all, that is some hella work. I'll solo Night Falls, Shattered Throne, Zero,
solo?
Raid boss solo, and Riven as damn complicated as she is. That is literally one in, I don't even know. But that's, wanted to shout that one out because that is absolutely bonkers.
I think I heard one of the strats is the hunter.
It's the hunter punch and shotgun type thing.
Yeah, something going on with melee and stuff right now. Yeah, that's cool. Shout out to hunters, man. They're getting some nice buff right now. So do what you got to do, man. But that even with a buff like that, soloing a raid is next level. That's I don't care what's going on. That's next level.
Yeah, I've always thought about trying to solo Callie, but I think most people soloed Callie when Whisper was better. So I don't know if you could do it now. I'd be curious to see.
With Whisper in the state.
But yeah, they said it's been a light couple of news weeks, but they do have more stuff coming. So we know you have questions about cross-save, Shadowkeep, new character customization, Season of Undying, and things we haven't even hinted at yet. Yay. This summer will be the time to get you ready for another moon launch. And shout out to Cosmo. Somewhere in his twabs, gets something related to a cat in there. And Deej gave him a hard time. And it's in there now. I don't know if it was not or nobody noticed it at first, but on that bottom line next to the word Shadowkeep, that comma is a different color.
Yes.
And it links you to Cats, the new musical.
Hilarious.
So,
yes.
Still got it in there. Shout out to Cosmo
Nice.
getting his cat work in. That one's actually pretty hilarious.
Nice.
So, yeah. So that's, I mean, the TWAB is pretty light. We've got some stuff going on.
I got one thing I wanted to add real quick.
Oh, no. Yeah, you are good.
Did we talk about have you guys seen that 4-minute video?
That's where I was going. So,
okay. I just want to make sure we get that in. Yeah, guys, set it up there.
So if you guys haven't seen, they did the moon destination reveal yesterday. It's about a 4-minute Vidoc talking about just bringing the moon back into Destiny. We've heard little things about, I mean, there was previous talks I saw, it was either in an interview or something like that. Like, Destiny 2 can only get so big. Like, it's about 100 gig right now on just certain consoles. Like, bigger it gets, you keep adding destinations. Like, this could be... So I kind of have two questions on this one for you guys as well. Open it for discussion. One, do you guys think this will be the last destination we get? And then two, just what are your thoughts about everything in that moon reel? Like, thoughts about, like, how big it is, what it looks like, what the little floating stuff is. Like, I just want to know your overall thoughts on that moon reveal.
Quick question. Define last destination we get.
Of Destiny 2. Like, when I said destination, planets.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like, more space of how much bigger can the game get is what I'm getting after.
Well, let Scream go.
Scream?
As far as the last destination we get, I really don't know, because you're right, it is really, really big. But I think there might be some way that they reorganize the game into like much more content in the earlier, maybe less relevant sections through the whole playthrough, becoming maybe a little bit more streamlined. I don't know. As the game, I would assume if they wanted to continue to add, they would have to do something like that at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like D2 at this point, like, you know, something you can kind of, I don't want to say jump over, but sort of just move rapidly, quickly through. Play maybe more if you really, really want to, but yeah, as the moon looks great from what I saw in the Vidoc. I like how they're sort of revamping the color scheme of it. And
that red
there's going to be those, right? And some of those areas that, you know, you kind of always hoped would have something in them seem like they're going to be explorable now. I know there was one lost sector in like that central area where that big helium filament farm was.
Yes.
Things like that. I always liked the moon.
Yeah, me too.
So, I mean, I don't know exactly what I mean, I don't even know necessarily how big the moon will be comparatively. Like, I'm envisioning something, you know, like along the size of like maybe like a Mars, you know, like
they said twice what the moon used to be.
Twice what the moon used to be.
Think of it probably something along the lines
right
of
in D1, like 4 major zones in like
you had like
control.
3 in the underground basically.
And the expansion itself, they're saying
that's pretty big.
Like Rise of Iron.
That's pretty big.
That's wise too.
Yep.
Comparatively. You were saying, Scream?
You there, man?
Scream is gone. All right, I'll pick up for him then.
I might have accidentally.
Oh, you might have. There he is. He's back.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was my internet. But what was the last thing you heard me say? Sorry.
We were talking about moon. We were talking about size.
Size, yeah. What was your final question? I can't remember. There was
I was just just everything about the moon reveal. Just kind of your thoughts, because you've got everything from you've got the big castle. You know, it's twice as big as the moon potentially before. Like They're implementing lost sectors. You got the little floating bodies, like just all the stuff about it.
Oh yes, that was it. The floating bodies. Yeah, I don't know what that whole deal is. I mean, you know, probably a good area for some lore exploration for sure.
Absolutely,
100%.
But I mean, they look certainly like humans. I mean, it seems like a head and 4 arms, and they definitely seem taken.
I don't know what humans you're talking about with 4 arms, but continue.
Sorry, 4 arms.
Those are falling, buddy.
Correct. 2 arms, correct. Here we go. Lord Correction himself.
4 arms, like humans. You know, 4 arms, 6 legs.
Don't worry about it, Scream. I deal with it every. Don't you worry about it. You take that in stride. You keep pushing, brother.
I mean, it definitely looks taken to me.
Chin up.
So, who, you know, really all I could speculate at this point.
Look at that 4-armed human on screen.
I just looked over.
The 4 arms human.
Who does that remind me of? There was like an alien in some movie where he just had big arms like that above his head, and he would just start.
Oh, too funny. Continue.
Yeah, I mean that's really
Yeah, that's what you got.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, obviously the Hive and the Taken are somewhat closely related as far as lore goes. I mean, I love the lore. I'm never always the best speculator of lore, but it seems like they would be something, you know, the moon taken, maybe mixed in together. I'm kind of curious as like what that big thing on Nessus was, that big zone, that underdeveloped zone, that seemed to have some Taken in it too. I'm kind of curious about that because I thought that maybe be something with Shadowkeep, maybe some sort of like branch mission, you know. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be something later.
Yeah, we got to see. I mean, I definitely saw the 4-minute Vidoc thing. Really, one thing about Bungie, they really do a great job of promoting, and it's just cool to see, especially free from Activision, how they handle. And I thought this was really good. And first thing, we didn't even talk about our girl Eris.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's stumbling, bumbling, touching stuff, and getting feels, and this weird gun that looks like has relics of her old team on it or something. And
she's always in a tunnel somewhere.
Yeah, she's like in the tunnel doing something. And, you know, I just need to hear all the crazy conniption talk. That's what I'm for. I'm for all that conniption talk, and I want to know if, because of the fun relationship her and Cade had, if she references the homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's got to reference the homie. We know she ain't no big-hearted person. But, you know, to get your rock off my map was like classic stuff.
That was one of my favorite lines. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite lines, and him stealing her ship, and I mean, it's always fun games between him and he had on her friends. But I wanted to see, like, you know, how she acknowledges that. But enough about that.
Cade was definitely the Han to her Leia.
Yes. Absolutely. You know, the thing is, I want to see, you know, from what we saw, the locales look dope. You know, it's the moon, but it's the moon revisited. Like you said, Scream, the red, that they're ominous. That tower is just ominous. The twice the size of it. I remember that part of the map on the right side where you would walk past that structure, but now they're saying you can go in that whole thing. That excites
lost
me.
Sectors now.
That really excited me. Yeah,
big time excitement. You know, so it's just not like, I know a lot of people are gonna give it. Bungie's reusing assets again, and okay, fine. But this look cool. I don't care what you say. This thing looks cool to me. The Dead Guardian or 4-armed humans, whatever we calling them.
4-armed humans.
Like, yo.
Octopus.
That look
That's what they're called now.
And I got a theory. My theory, right? I have no law. Shout out to mine. I'm going to hit up my know the truth. But I'm just speculating. Like, they keep going on this nightmare theme. Right, facing your fears, and we've already got confirmation that older people we've already defeated, we're gonna have to face. We seen Gaul, Crota, I think hints of Oryx. You know what I'm saying? Omnigol. Like, it would be dope if we got like a little gauntlet of bosses and stuff like that, or if we get.
I want Dr. Wily's castle.
Hey, there you go.
Dr. Wily's castle. All the bosses.
All the bosses. How lit would that be?
Just
this is stuff.
Boss fight menagerie.
That literally is that. This is Addict's dream. He's all about boss fights. So we were talking about it. It was just like I was like, yo, there's a strong possibility. So we got to see what's going on with that. What's the true source? I'm not feeling taken just yet.
I hope not.
But I'm not. I mean, if it is, it is. But I get the sense it's something different. But this nightmare thing seems different. I want to see where they go with it. And what was the last thing I was gonna say? Like, just in general, like the Dark Guard. Like, I want to know if we get more closure with her original team, because she alludes to suffering, right? She alludes to they're suffering, they're being tormented. People are being tormented. So I got to see what's going on. The moon's gonna be lit. They talk about the fallen. Got to set up shop. They running for retreating. It's looking spooky for them. Yeah, man. This they in that catch or whatever. I can't wait. This is exciting to me. I want to see the moon. I didn't realize how much I missed the moon until I saw this. But I'm gonna let you go. I know you chomping.
Oh no. I mean, you guys are hitting all good things. So, I mean, for me on the moon, you've got the giant castle. Looks huge.
Woo!
Like when they get closer and closer to that spire, it looks like quite massive. So that looks amazing. The keep set up to that. That's probably going to be its own new zone or potentially part of the Hellmouth, but it looks so much bigger than just the Hellmouth for sure.
Shattered Throne 2.0.
And that's what I was getting to. So we know the raid is on the Black Garden. How on earth they connect the lore to that, I have no clue.
Yeah.
And I really hope they do connect it somehow, because if it's just an arbitrary, here's a raid, like, not cool. But the dungeon, if the dungeon is in the new little red castle keep thing they got going on, I'm going to be living in there. You know where I'll be.
You gonna hit up your man? You gonna hit up your man Hydras?
Yeah, shout out to Nine Hydras. Met him at Guardian Con. If he's involved in making a new dungeon. And I'm wondering, because the little rotating... They look like a forest trap. They're like the spiky rotating cylinders that you see, and they're kind of moving up and down. That still looks like it's on the moon. It doesn't look like it would be a raid thing. So that feels like that would be like a dungeon jumping puzzle mechanic type thing, not a raid mechanic jumping puzzle. So I'm like, this could be fun. But yeah, it was really cool. They took like most places. I mean, they took the one section on the moon where you're like, hey, there was this little building, and you're like, yeah, I could go in here and pick up a chest. Well, now it's a whole lost sector before you would actually go down and, wake up the hive. And then, no, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think between Armor 2.0, the moon coming back and being popular, and I think the moon is going to be sizable, the underground, like, they went through and redid it. I mean, yeah, they may have used, like, geometry of the moon. Yeah. But they went through and looked like they're retextured, relit just about everything in there, gave it a different feel. Because if you look in there, they even talk about just like the feeling of like oversaturating the lighting and then changing that up for the new one to give it a completely different aesthetic. And then we've got the hive. But are these like the Sauron touched hive with like the red across their face? Because they all look to have a different color scheme to it. And they're not just like gray hive.
Right.
They have that like... The acolytes specifically, you see it in the videos, like they have like the red face. Something's up. Like I don't know if they're gonna have different abilities, kind of like the Frozen Hive would be slightly tweaked. And we got like the snipers there. I'm curious what we see, but yeah, we've got possibly some different hive. But yeah, a big Dr. Wily's boss room situation. I don't see it happening. Maybe the bosses are gonna be like. So I guess here's the question: would it be a letdown if those were like the what were they in the Barons, like the Baron adventures? If the bosses were treated that way,
missions, like campaign missions. I'm okay with it. I mean, I ain't gonna go crazy, but I would love the other thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't know how. I don't know how. Again, I have no idea how they'll implement the whole thing. Maybe it's the story we go through and fight, but yeah, I'm kind of curious where all the bosses are going to come in, because there's quite a few we saw.
Quite a few. Like
every strike area seems to be redone, so
absolutely.
Yeah, I want to see that fog off. I want to see if
what was the one I can't remember. Oh God, you used to be able to get his crown as a helmet if you were a warlock. They showed that redone. It had the big ball, spinning ball.
When he had the 3 phases of Solar Arc and Void, like
Morlock.
Yeah.
Or Maylock. I can't remember if it's Maylock.
Something like that, but yeah.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, soloing that Nightfall was a pain in the butt.
That was a tough one.
Tough one. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm definitely more confident with each bit of information. When do you guys think the full blown marketing push? What July now? We know it's what,
I
September
mean, we're 2
17th?
months out, basically.
2 months out. So when do we think we start getting them vidocs, them Twitch studio deals?
Depends on. I mean, I'm sure it's probably going to be close to ready. I don't know if they play the game of you drop this trailer, we'll drop this trailer. Like, do they play it against? Because, I mean, you got Borderlands, Link's Awakening, Monster Hunter World. You have a lot coming out around that time. Are they going to try and, like, make sure and get their pieces? I mean, they're going to probably have their schedule. I would probably see for them, they're going to have a push for Steam in and of itself.
Right.
They're going to have that probably paired with something for New Light. I could see that a couple weeks before. Like, get ready, Destiny 2 is coming free. I could probably see that come into probably no more than 2 weeks. I could almost see it starting in September.
Wow. Okay.
Because they've waited, like, I don't know. It's like the expansion I know will be bigger. New Light, Stadia is going to have its own push. Some of those things will be closer, and Stadia is later when it releases. But I could see they've done everything really close to the seasons. But I guess for the expansion, I might see it sooner. That might want to be a little sooner. I don't know. They could do it a couple different ways.
When do you think the push they might go?
I think you're gonna see a lot of stuff like on or about Labor Day, like around that time. You know, end of August, early September.
Yeah, okay, so you gotta say it much later. Okay, we differ, but I see where y'all going with it.
What are you thinking next week?
I'm thinking like at latest top of August. I mean, I remember like Forsaken stuff we was getting that Game Informer breakdowns like almost like a full month, 2 months ahead of time. They've already technically talking about Shadowkeep right now. Like they literally giving us vidocs right now. Like
so, I mean, you could I guess say the push has started already.
Yeah, to me, we in the push. Like there's no doubt in my mind. This is critical for them on their own. We're gonna be getting drip. They've been drip feeding a lot early. I mean, this Polygon article with Noseworthy and Loop, you know what I'm saying? Like I could see another big outlet. Look, I think it's gonna come down to what happened last time, which was normally before it used to be Game Informer, right? The Game Informer will get these big blowouts. We'll get the information. I think it's gonna be whoever wins them. Getting right. Shout out to my dudes at
I don't think Game Informer is going to cover Shadowkeep. I think they're probably going to take Borderlands 3 if they haven't already.
It may be. And last time, if I recall, Fireteam Chat and IGN is the ones that had I believe the last big one was it Last Wish or something like that. As far as like the lead up.
Yeah, I know they had one push for sure. I know they got something, so they might be working.
Some other entity, bigger outlet was in control of it. So I think it's gonna be, the bidding war gonna be high for whoever's gonna get it. And I think we're gonna start they're gonna start trickling stuff. And like you said, because think about forget about the game itself, which has a ton of new content and a ton of new things they're gonna implement. We've got all the things you said. We've got Stadia, we've got cross save, we've got BattleNet ending, going now over to, the Steam. Like you've got huge transitionary things. You gotta give people a ton of time to get ready, to make sure it's done right, because people there's gonna be that fact that needs to go out, right? Hey, I got this. What happens?
Oh my god!
I have to, but I preloaded. I need to pre-order. I already own. You already know they're gonna get inundated. They've got to be so ahead of the game with this. So I say now we in it. This is very early drip feed. Top of August, first 2 weeks. They're gonna get that marketing blitz going. They're gonna really, and they need to. I mean, let's be honest. Borderlands is still out there too. Monster Hunter is out there, and all these other games, and they got to.
What do you guys think about sort of as a question? Is I mean, as far as like another Bungie live stream, do you think they're gonna do? Have they announced another one? And when do you think, if they haven't, when do you think they would do another one?
So they haven't announced one. I know that for sure.
They haven't announced one yet.
What do you think? You think they'll do one?
Definitely. Okay. We got to get the Armor 2.0 break. We've got to get they're gonna probably do maybe like 2. I would say maybe 1, 2, or 3. Kind of like the old form. I mean, this was the old Activision format, so who knows? But remember how they would give you like a little piece. This is how Armor's gonna work, and this is whatever, and then whatever redacted surprise we're gonna get. I think most likely we're going to get either some mode, some new activity, or some returning mode that they're holding on to, because these guys are out at the summits now, right? Shout out to the Queen, and she came back, right? RedQueen and stuff. A lot of people are out at these summits that are getting the experience now. You know what I mean? These content creators. So
wait for next week.
yeah, shout out to the Queen. We'll try to gig a little bit. We'll try to break some NDA.
We can't do that, sir. We gotta stay professional.
We can hint.
Poke, 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 poke.
Look to
They're
the
like,
data
excuse
mine.
me. Did you ask them this? What did they say?
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Or I could just ask questions like, how confident do you feel about
Right.
What are your feelings about what you have in the future? Are you excited?
Are you excited?
Were there any moments of drastic surprise? As any do.
There you go.
I'm gonna go for emotional questions. I need to know your emotional roller coaster of the week.
To go.
There you go. You don't have to tell me what you saw, but I want to know how you felt.
Yep. Agreed.
Blackwing's out there. I was like, I don't know about a stream, maybe a long Vidoc. I could see a Vidoc.
I can see that, yeah.
I could see a couple Vidocs too. Be like, hey, check out this Vidoc going with the TWAB. They'll usually drop those on like a Wednesday and then cover some info on like a Thursday in the TWAB if they don't want to do a full stream, because stream is pretty big get up. I mean, take some effort, and like the Vidocs are a little more curated, especially if they want like a specific message when it comes to that. And I think they've also kind of steered away from, here's the Destiny 1 fashion game. Walk out, turn right back. Walk out, turn right back. But yeah, I could definitely see. I still would like to see one stream because I always enjoy them at least.
I know.
But I think the Vidocs would probably work a little better for specifically explaining, hey, this is armor 2.0. This is what, like, any armor you got right now going forward. Like, just some clarification on things that is like, nobody's interpreting a stream. It's like, it's a curated Vidoc. This is the information we want. So one or two of those might be good.
Yeah, Down's got a good question.
Yeah, I was going to get to it. So have you guys looked through the Vidoc enough to see basically what I would guess potentially either maybe it's a raid boss or the main boss? Like, where do you guys think do you think the campaign and the raid, for one, are going to tie? And what do you think the bosses are going to be? Like, because the main thing they say is like, she goes down, she awakens these nightmares for what Eris does, however, and whatever. Do you think we're actually fighting something Hive, or do you think it's something kind of different? What are you guys feeling? So what do you think we're going to fight in either the raid, the campaign, or both?
I'll jump in.
Go ahead.
I'm legit stumped. Because the easy thing to me, in my opinion, is like Sabathun. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, things that we kind of know about her, you know, returning. But there's a lot going on in Destiny right now, right? You know, there's a lot lore-wise going on. And I don't think we're going to get Drifter stuff resolution, but we still got to figure out, when is Aldrin involving himself with anything, right? So the other question is, I'm curious. I'm going to learn a lot how Eris is introduced, because is it going to be a situation like Taken King where she pulls up at the tower, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it was, and, you know, it's like, you know, Ikora's there. There's that Vanguard Council, right, of what's going to happen, you know, let's see about that. Or is it a situation where it's kind of like maybe she just reaches out to Ikora or one person on the slide, or just a Guardian, you know what I'm saying? But she has the relationship with the Vanguard. So, you know, I'm curious. I think how she's introduced is going to tell us a lot as far as engagement. As far as the boss is concerned, man, I mean, we're hearing what Black Garden already, right? Confirmed in it. In what capacity did they state?
Raid is in Black Garden, to my knowledge.
Okay, so if that's confirmed, I'm all messed up, because wasn't that Vex before?
That was Vex doing Black Garden, but then you had the Heart of the Black Garden, which we ended up shooting, but yeah, that was taking control of the Minotaurs, and
it was
just a blob.
Man. The blob, yeah. So it's just like, I am legit stumped. I do not know where this is going, and I'm very curious. I'm gonna give it up to Scream. What do you think, man?
I definitely think the campaign is going to tie into the raid, just because they seem to be wanting to do a lot more of that. So like, And so I think that's going to be a thing. I think it has to. This is what I think is gonna. I keep saying I think, but like I feel as though her story, the end of whatever happens here, the culmination of whatever happens here as far as lore. I don't know if it's gonna have anything necessarily to do specifically with Alderaan, but it has to at least. It's definitely gonna, in my opinion, lead into that arc somehow. Yeah, because we've seen too much, where it's like. What do you just want to forget about all of that? Like he woke up on a thing. Like what's going on there? It has to be addressed.
Scream. Talk about it, Scream. That's what I'm saying. Like if she comes in the tower,
whatever happens.
Yeah, continue. I'm sorry. You might cut out again.
You broke it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Let's go. No, go for it. Be back.
No, yeah, I feel like it has to weave itself into that some way. That's kind of what I think the purpose of it might be, is actually just to weave the plot that direction. Like you discover something and, there a hidden plot, the reason why these things are happening, something along those lines. I mean, from a writer's perspective, that's where I would go with it. The whole thing with the Black Garden, though, that I mean, yeah, it does. It was... The heart of the Black Garden was such a nondescript thing. I always sort of harken back to, there was this one little, I don't know if it was in the it was in the grimoire of like one of the grimoire cards from D1, where it talks about this. It's a three-way conversation going on. You kind of get the sense that I think it was in the Warmind grimoire. Like one of the voices talking is a Warmind. We're not, we can assume it's Rasputin. But it could have been another one. I think it's Rasputin, though. And it's a conversation it's having with another, like, godly entity about the Traveler. So it's like these three sort of, like, superhuman entities, or, like, two having a conversation about another. And I've always sort of... Like, I thought they were going to return to the Black Garden a long time ago. Yeah, like, I thought it was actually going to be something in D1. So, yeah, I don't really know. You could always kind of make the assumption that it's not Vex. I mean, and maybe that clears up some stuff, but that's a pretty big assumption, Yeah. I mean, did they ever actually talk about in D1 was the heart of the Black Garden specifically like Vex god, or was it just something that they worshipped?
I just remember fighting a whole bunch of Vex.
I was like, it was pretty vague, honestly. To my,
I feel like it was vague enough where maybe it was something else. Like maybe the heart of the Black Garden was not a Vex thing. Maybe it was something they were guarding. I don't know. Who knows? That's where you can really get speculative with there's a lot of different ways you could certainly take the plot of D2 currently. I've always and I think I might have said this somewhere. I don't really know exactly when I was talking about it, but maybe it was just with UE, that like I've always hoped that rather than they've introduced so many threads.
Yes.
I hope that they wind that the ultimate goal is to wind them together. Now you can do that and still introduce new threads, but at a certain point you go, I got enough here to make a sweater. Let's get to knitting.
Put some connections in that. It'll move it, and that was the thing.
Right.
Dado even asked. He's like, "We're gonna move this, like move it forward." We want to move it forward.
I have to say, if they do another stream, I hope they have someone like that. Like,
yeah, he was on fire.
That was great, and I loved that specific question. Maybe that's where I'm thinking about it. Like, maybe I talked with somebody about that interview afterward. But that was one of the questions, actually, not even as a big main lore guy, enjoying it, but I really enjoyed that question because there's a lot there, and it's certainly interesting.
A ton of interesting things. E, what you got, man? What's your theories?
Okay, so for me, I have no idea how they connect the two first.
Right.
I don't know. If they do, my question is how we get there. Like, I feel like hopefully the story has a connection of like, hey, there's this thing, there's some like mastermind, puppeteer, whatever's causing these nightmares, I think is probably not what we face in the campaign, or at least I'm hoping not, because I loved how like Regicide was a mission and then we fought the big version of Oryx.
Mm-hmm.
There is one frame in the Vidoc when they show the raid, and it's a picture. I can't send it to anybody right now. Here. Let's see if I can actually open this thing. All right, so I'm going to put this in chat so you guys can see it. That is a frame from the Vidoc, and there's one little image. And what that looks like, if it's not like a tree, it looks kind of like a taken enemy with like a whole bunch of tentacles around it. Because it has that color, the black, and kind of the whitish look.
Yeah.
And my only wondering is that's the other thing everybody's wondered about for a little while is Curia, or however you say it. Oryx's other sister.
Right.
So I'm wondering if like Savathun still might be the big triangle ships. And I don't know, it's a Curia or a Quria is how it's written. If she might be, because she is now taken, she could have enough motivation and power to be able to do and cause some of these nightmares and work through the hive that way. That would be kind of cool. No idea if it's even possible, but that would be kind of a way to kind of have a weird connection, still plant the seed, because I think the triangle ships are still D3, but to build on some of what we've got. And I would love to see something along the lines of like, Eris is looking on a map and somebody sets a gun on it and she looks up and it's Aldrin, and I would just lose my mind.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you the
That
Aldrin
would
question.
be so good.
I was just about to ask you the Aldrin, but what's your over-under on him actually being in this expansion? Or I can't say expansion anymore. Season of the Undying.
I feel like they want to save him with his sister, with Mara, whenever she comes back, and she's doing some grandiose plan for or against the triangle ships and stuff like that. I would like to see them move him forward. I would love that too. She's in the tower working on somebody, and somebody just like kind of like walks in and just completely clueless because he doesn't know, and be like, because she doesn't know him either. I think that would be an interesting dynamic, because she's been off doing her thing for 5 years and not sure about this whole Aldrin guy. So I think that would be kind of a cool way for them to meet. And she's like, hey, I found this guy. And then Ikora loses her. Like, I could like build it up. Like, Ikora loses stuff. Like, Zavala's holding her back. She's charging her Nova bombs. Aldrin's over like, what the hell? Like,
like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who y'all think I am.
Like, if you want to start Shadowkeep, yeah, I'd lose my mind if I saw it. I'd be like, what other games? Like, I don't think they will go to that level. But I think this would be a time for Eris coming back, especially if she's like the vendor on the moon, to have some way to bring him in, but also like, because you could actually have that as your other storyline, because you have the campaign, the storyline with Eris, obviously, but I also would worry if the Aldrin would take away from Eris.
Yeah, I am worried about that too.
Because like Eris is their true focus, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna play two cards right now.
That's why part of me, as much as I think I want, of course we want Aldrin to be there.
Yeah,
my gut says they probably save him from this deal, because like you said, her coming back, Marla coming back, is a big deal. That's a big deal, and we already see, her and Guardian Con. She's a professional, and they're definitely about promoting her. And those characters really don't have a relationship. Again, not saying that it's impossible that those two won't, not meet, but I think they probably want to make it more about her and the threat, and probably take it from there. But hey, if you got some dialogue lines for my boy Aldrin, I wouldn't be opposed. He rolled up in the tower, I wouldn't be upset.
Oh, I just sit back and grab the popcorn, man.
Oh yeah, I just want to see Zavala, Ikora, and Ikora's face.
Yeah, just literally trying not to just instant Nova bomb him into oblivion. It's like, I don't care if I blow up the tower, I've got to kill him. Like,
and Zavala would give the old prophetic "I told you so" repercussions of your action stuff.
I don't know if it'd be that. He'd be holding her back from trying to get her to stop killing. He'd be like, no, Ikora, you're better than this. Don't do it. He's a guardian now. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Feel like a Warcraft 3 level cinematic.
I would love to see something like that. Like that. And again, that's where I think that scale of like, holy crap, I think that's when you do a D3. I think that's where that falls.
Yeah.
Mara, the Space Doritos, Savathun, if all like a new race, those Because I saw somebody's thumbnail. I'm not going to specifically call it out. But it's got pyramid ship enemies literally on the thumbnail. It's like Armor 2.0 reveal, pyramid ship enemies. And I'm going, I got a feeling that's crap. But that's just me.
D3, that's D3. I mean, to me, everything since D2 ended, we beat Gaul, and the light was every single thing has been in order of expansion/season. So I think that is literally when we have to deal with that threat.
Yeah. I guess the only thing that somebody could speculate is that the void or whatever they're called, like the race from that first concept art of the 4 races and the 5th one was the triangles. They are kind of these black, like wispy type characters. Right. And people might be speculating that the floating bodies are those, but I think that's definitely some clickbait. But who am I to say?
We'll see.
Yeah, you guys got any more thoughts on what's to come? I know Scream, you're on here. If you got any other opinions, theories, you always got some lore knowledge bombs to drop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it comes from just having to write a number of scripts in film school. So you kind of hope that they're making the same sort of assertions that you're making in your own mind as far as where the lore goes. I kind of agree that like it would be really fun if you were to introduce Aldrin. It would be sort of like what's the gun?
Was last word?
Last word. The last yes, the last word. Like a last word drop on the table at the end of like some major like plot culmination, and then he says one line and it cuts to black. Like that's how
that's your tease for whatever. Like it's like now we go through 3 season passes, we get nothing about him, and we're just sitting there for 9 months like
I feel like we're gonna see that shot. Like I feel like that shot, if you see him, it will be something like that. I don't think he's gonna get introduced in this DLC. I think there might be, because they are gonna focus on her, but I feel like
I have a question before I forget.
Please.
Sorry to interrupt. We also forgetting about another. Like you made a good point about all these threads, right? All these threads they got going on. What about Drifter and the Vanguard decision?
Oh yeah.
When the hell do we get that? The culmination of that choice.
I think I don't think you're gonna see that for a minute.
That's D3. That's the last 2 hours.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean, I
would agree with you.
However they're progressing as far as D2 or D3, but yeah, it's going to be I think you're going to actually have to see guy from Mercury, Osiris first.
Oh, don't you?
I think there'll be some return to him before you see anything to the Drifter. I know that might feel like completely out of left field, but that's a character that is important in some way.
Say that again. Could you say that again?
It's a character that's important. He's a time traveler. He's got to be important. There's no character more interwoven with the Vex lore, and you're going to have to flush that out. And I think if you're returning to the Black Garden in some way, it's going to have something to do with the Vex. So there's going to, it's like if they don't do it, it's weak storytelling, and that's not them.
Yeah, but I got those rain on.
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, I hear you.
Oh no, all I was gonna say is somebody was saying when it comes to the season of the Undying, somebody was wondering like the specific tie-in to the Vex, and the graphic that they have at Guardian Con, it was like redacted, but the first season was a picture of a goblin. So that's where that comes from.
A picture of a who?
Goblin. Vex.
Oh.
So that graphic is out there. People tweeted it from Guardian Con, but yeah, it was from one of their streams or something like that, like little things they did on stage. But I was waiting in line. I looked over and it was like 3 of the seasons were redacted, and then the first one was Vex.
So that makes sense. That would make sense to me as far as like a storyteller. Like I would want to return to that, and just maybe give it a little bit more. I mean, flush it out a little bit more, give it a little bit more credit, because Mercury is a zone, but do we go there? Maybe
the roundabout cul-de-sac, whatever. No,
So,
you're right. You're right, man. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, Scan. I mean,
that would be my thought.
I'm really hoping, but I guess says keep it in perspective, keep expectations low with that. I think we still may have a while. You know, I mean, it is Vex, but I'm worried because Eris is such a dominant character in Hive lore that I can't see them playing with other figures around her because she herself holds her own. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the only reason, because all these other things you're saying connect. It connects lore-wise. Everything you're saying connects. Things you're saying the Vex and all. I'm curious. You know, she even with Taken King, she to the very end, and you know, when we beat Oryx, you know, she's holding the sword, she's doing things. You know what I'm saying? Like she's always in the mix. You know what I'm saying? She's got a little bit of mysteriousness with herself. I mean, yeah, she helps us, but you know, there's still some things with her that's on a little bit of the
ambiguous.
Ambiguous / maybe Tolan side. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you know, look, I like Miss Mary. I act like Eris is this paragon of virtue that, you know, that all she can. She has her own motives too. So I'm very curious about it. I'm excited. This is a good one. This is at least should move things forward for hopefully that other stuff. So
yeah.
Hopefully a little bit, or teases, or somewhere in these seasons they start teasing their ships. We're doing quests for the Drifter. We like, what if it was the season of Aldrin? Like, I mean, you bring it.
The season of the I'd be lit though.
Season of the Prince or whatever.
Yeah, season of the Prince.
Oh, that would be a good name.
So, and then we got Rosie Hazel in chat just dropping bombs like, what when Kira turns out to be playing everyone and she's actually learning to take the Taken power. Let this be and I told you so. Now Osiris Tyrant, the Vex won.
Listen, man. My dream season, the season of Osiris, Trials comes back. And once man, that I would be so thankful.
If they really wanted to blow the doors open on an expansion, that would be it.
That's how you do it, man. Get him back, man. Restore my Warlock to his glory where he needs to.
The community would blow up.
Most powerful guardian. So I just did the same 14 quest though. That just had a lot of fun with that. Dope quest, by the way. Dope. You should be able to replay that strike. That's an amazing mission.
And that's some of the ones I wish that you could, like, if you unlocked and be like, hey, I want to go back. Or at least in the daily missions, like how they unlock the Ace of Spades, those should be, like, thrown in there sometimes.
Yeah, those should be repeatable. So well done.
What's up, man? Welcome late. A couple of you guys joining us towards the tail end.
I'm definitely going to want to go back because the new, like, free-to-play is going to let you do that very first mission from the Cosmodrome, correct? Can anybody? Will everybody have the option to go back and do that? I hope. Whatever way I can get to do that, I'm definitely going to go.
I mean, honestly, you could go probably play, like, just be like, oh, I'm going to make a new random account on Steam, and you could probably go get Destiny for free and do that.
Yeah.
It'd just be kind of weird to, like, it wouldn't attach to anything, though, because I don't know if we'll be able to go back and play it. Would be cool, though.
I just kind of want to go in and just, you know, troll around in there again.
Yeah. You always looking for secrets. You want to break the map and go back and explore the whole Cosmodrome.
You know, yeah.
Screams ready starting chaos. We love it.
You guys got anything else today? I think we've speculated on a lot of stuff and looking forward to the fall. Obviously, it's kind of light for stuff right now, so just kind of getting your grind on or your farm on, depending on what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
That's about all I got. So I think this is kind of where we'll wrap it. We are about 2.5 hours, so it's probably a fair time. Lengthy one, but always with the guests. Always great times. We'll Scream, tell everybody where they can find you. We appreciate having you on. Always a pleasure, sir. Dropping the nuggets of knowledge and everything on us. We always appreciate it. But where can they find you? What do you got going on? What are your plans for the future? And dead silence. Perfect. That was exactly what I was going for.
Fun little exploits that you can do as often as I can.
Nice.
Trying to curate as much of the raid secrets Reddit as I try to. If you ever have want a good Reddit thread, I would go check that out. But that's neither here nor there. You can find me at Wilhelm. If you type in Wilhelm Scream Destiny on YouTube, or Wilhelm with a 1, WILHE1M Scream, you'll find me on YouTube, and the same WILHE1M _ Scream on Twitter.
Nice.
Follow me on there. And thank you guys again so much for having me on. This is a lot of fun.
Always, brother. Always, man. Good to have you back. Heard up, E. I was like, yo, we had Scream on in a minute, man. We got to reach out to him. Man. Always a good time. And you know how we get to talking, so it's good to have. And also appreciate your support as well. Like, you're a good content creator, your damn self. You always teaching me stuff. I find out, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even know you could do that. Kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. Scream with another one.
Try my best.
Exactly. Yeah. Salute to you, the channel, and everything you're doing, and the growth, and then also again for the support, because we definitely appreciate you out there for us.
I love it. You're the guys who I watch. So
thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Big time. Back at you. So. Cognito, sir, what do you got coming? Any fanciness for the Sunday times?
No fanciness just yet. We had some fanciness, but then we got some fanciness rescheduled. So,
well, you know,
fanciness is on hold right now. I'm still actually formulating as it goes. So tune in to Sundays. I don't even know. Yeah, I know
you're just gonna hit go and be like, all right, guys, let's talk. What are we doing?
You know what I'm saying? You know, you never know. Deej may show. I'm just joking.
No, let me know.
Come on, I wouldn't do that to you, bro. That's
like I gotta be a game, but like I gotta get seriously. But
yeah, that's the last thing. I gotta have that to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But nah, salute, man. Yeah, it will be Iron Lord Podcast. We'll be there Sundays, every 1 p.m. Every Sunday's the Lord's Day. Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel. Please tune in. It will be a fun show. I know some of the topics already. We got some great topics that we're going to talk about what's going on in the industry, some fun discussions, some passionate disagreements might happen. So
always,
just tune in.
like every time,
always,
all the time.
Always. You already know. You know, we don't know what Lord is going to take sides with another Lord.
Who's looking for whose knees?
Yeah, there's going to be bend the knee segments. There's a lot of knees all over the place.
Actually, one time, I know this is like random. I was like, I know you guys, because I've been on before, and you guys are really cool. You organize it. Everybody has their point in the round table. It would probably be honestly controlled chaos. Like if you work the round table, but don't give everybody a preview. Like everybody keep your own topic and it's hidden. Be kind of a secret one, like for you guys to do.
Secret one, yeah, that would be crazy too. I was thinking about that one. We got to think of it's just like we can't let Attic get too out of control. But Attic's is the problem.
Calling him out. What's up, Attic? How you doing?
Oh man, salute. But yeah, that's my man. Does he get going? He's easy to rile up when he's passionate about something. So
it's like the passion is like strong amongst all of you, which is always cool. Like
I appreciate it. I can tell you, as a listener, I appreciate it.
It's great theater.
Yeah. You can't script that stuff. It's just it's funny. Man. Everybody's going back and forth. Some of the lines, and that's kind of the you guys are legit. I mean, you're all gamers. We've all been around the block for a little while, and then it's like you guys have those moments, and then within the same podcast, because just like ours, it can go long. You guys have some awesome, real, just down to earth, like. Legit cool, like it goes both ways. So it's like if you guys haven't listened to Iron Lord Podcast, check them out. Like please, like show some support there. Subscribe to the channel. Find them on your audio. They will fill your ears for a good time with some awesome entertainment. If you're gamers, especially if you lean a little more green than blue,
we lean a little green, but. To be honest, we've been leaning more. We've been leaning actually
more Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. I've been leaning a little bit more red.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's been a struggle. That's actually real quick. That's like one of my greatest predictions ever. Is just the success of the Nintendo Switch, and I remember being laughed at. You know, like 10, bunch of ILPs ago. I mean, just. Laughed at like this is a failure. What are they doing? And just to see the success continue and me coming in there every week being soft with our chests out like
you're like come on
the little engine that did it, and it's just fun, man. So yeah, there will be some Switch topics for sure. There's definitely gonna be a Switch topic.
It's been good, man. I mean, give me Breath of the Wild 2. I just gotta play Breath of the Wild 1 first.
Salute to Vagabondo. He said it was a good last one, good ILP this past week. Thank you, brother. And also, real quick, man, also check us out, lordsofgaming.net, man. Please, if any type of attention to these articles, we've got some guys really putting them good work. We had Josh Redding on here before on The Last Word, he's fantastic as far as his Destiny article. We've got Rosie Hazel, aka Dizzy, because that's under his wife's account. But Dizzy, the editor-in-chief, man, tremendous articles, Addicts writing, the list goes on. Gondor's Condor, if you're an Overwatch guy, you like that kind of stuff, he's got fantastic articles. We just got retro stuff from my boy Biggie jerseys. We've got a lot of different pockets, and then obviously, you come to me, LordCognito, for Destiny content and Destiny articles. Just got one up right now on Armor 2.0. A lot of the points I've reiterated, and so please every retweet, every like of just checking out the articles really helps us to grow the brand. LordsOfGaming.net. Check it out, man. That's all I got. I'm done marketing now. Marketing's over.
Oh, you're good. Absolutely. That's what these are for. So, and then for me, you guys know where to find me. Right here, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, it's Ebontis. You guys know where to find the cheetah. Half the time talking to the ninja. Or putting the ninja in my backpack.
That's right. And I'll be utilizing those backpacks.
Hey, I'll jump in that PvP backpack with you. It's cool.
Listen, man, that man hold his own in PvP. I've been watching him scream.
Do you guys have a picture of a ninja riding a cheetah? Because
that would be. We wanted to do that. It's funny you said that. It's funny you said that because we wanted to. I should say we wanted. Shout out to my man Graphic God who did the last word artwork, and as a joke said that. He's like, what if we put the ninja rider? He said no. There's no way in hell that's happening. So I voted for it, but E shut it down. So we have
no. The last word art is what is going on right now on screen. Looks great.
I would buy that T-shirt.
I say we should do it.
Just to have it.
E not feeling it, but maybe we get the votes going.
Think about how many people would be like, "Is that a ninja riding a cheetah?"
A ninja
yeah, these are my friends.
Yeah. There's a lot of jokes in there, and there you go. Yep. There's a lot of jokes that I have to basically nip straight in the butt because there's a lot of questions I had to shoot it just pretty much square away. But no, if you guys, I was just gonna say, if you guys haven't caught my 7 stages of grief video, that one was fun to put together.
Oh, that was great.
Dude, more of that, please. More of that. See, y'all he don't give y'all the EIC, right? That's part of the E. Like, I like there's angry E, there's jokey E. Like, everything is not analytical Professor E, Bob Ross of Destiny stuff that y'all just see in the video. Like, he's wild funny, bro. Like, he's mad funny. You hang out with this man is hilarious just to listen to. So when he's doing videos like this is a part of his personality y'all don't see. So I love it. When he's like, this is some, you know what I'm saying? It's just the fun. No, you know what's your best one, though?
Son of a dude.
That one. And when he got to the part scream, what was the one where it's like you're pleading?
Like, the bargaining. Yeah.
The bargaining. just let me. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, I was like, it was trying to throw the Valkyrie spear like down a hallway, and it doesn't do crap when match game is on. So I was like, come on, you want to die? Come on. Never mind, thank you. Like, yeah, it was just like, and then there was one point I was trying to go through, and I had like 6 different emotions with one little like after death. I was just like, and then like slamming my keyboard. I'm like, I'm done. It's like, maybe I can figure this out. I'm like going through everything in like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's all over, like everything. And that's like, if you guys ever catch me on stream, like you guys will get to see some of those attempts live. I put the video out when I did the this week's, like I did a Nightfall with like the high roller loadout, and it was Summer who commented. I played with her before. She's a cool follower. And she was just like, hey, where's the one where you died to the laser beams? And I was like, shh. Because like I didn't put sometimes I'll throw the outtakes in there, but that was one where it was a like perfectly clean run going through like heavy ammo is dropping to the final boss room, and it's trade probabilities where you have the lasers everywhere. And it's the final one. You have the upper tier and the 2 lower tiers. And I can basically cheese him. It's on the right side. And there's like the little block that are blocked.
Look at Scream. As soon as you said cheese, Scream's like,
Well, it's not even cheese.
As soon as the word cheese came out.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it's the strategy. It's like you can basically like mess with his like pathing by hiding behind this block. And I just like, I move on like the laser, I watch it fade away. And then I move out to shoot him, and the laser came right back and killed me. I was like, oh. And I was just, and it was like a perfect run all the way up to that point. And I was like, because that boss run is brutal because you have the 3 rooms, and if you die even at the very end when he has 1 millimeter health, you're back at the start of all 3 rooms. So like that whole run is shot because now it's time, points, ammo, it's all gone. So stuff like that, you guys will see like the real versions of like, and that's why a lot of people commented was like, hey, it's like, I know I typically struggle doing solo stuff. It's nice to see, somebody as well. And it's like, you guys have no idea how much I actually do. Like some videos will take me like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours just to have a damn good run. If it's like when it was Whisper, you have like the amount of time to put in to learn that thing. So that video was as calm as it was. A lot of effort, just a lot of time. So Nope.
That's why we respected it. Yeah, big time. Because it's like you show the human element. Again, that's what that regular guy needs to see. To like, okay, now I don't feel as bad because I know he's got some struggle to get there, but you still get there, and then you break it down in a way that someone common that may struggle with certain things can get there, and that is great. Keep it up, man. Love that kind of stuff from you.
Yeah, somebody described, they're like, yeah, it's like, you're a lot better than me. There was one point and they described like corkscrewing their controller, and I was like, what do you, oh, you're actually like ripping your controller in half. And I was just like, you got to work on some anger issues at that point. But yeah, just keep the controllers. You still need them, but if you slam your keyboard in half, then well, we all understand. But that's all we got. So sorry, long-winded outros here, but always a good time. But Scream, thank you for coming on. It's awesome. Thank you everybody for being in chat today. Next week, little preview. We do have it confirmed now. Travel things happen, but we got it coming. We got RedQueen coming on here. So we got an awesome guest. We got to meet her at Guardian Con. If you guys didn't hear previously, she was awesome. Ultra nice. We are probably going to talk ears off next week. Cool. So,
real quick, let's put Scream on the spot. Guardian Con next year, sir. What's happening? Scream.
I'm going to try to make it.
Come on, bro. You were supposed to be there.
I'm going to try to make it. Don't tie me down. I can't make commitments.
I have totally commitment issues. Forgotten. I was actually in Montreal for July 4th, and I had totally forgotten that we were going away for that. We had made those plans maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago with some other friends, and I kind of forgotten about it. But I was trying to kind of work it out where my mother-in-law lives in Florida.
So nice.
I was trying to figure out
make it
organize
work.
that trip, but I guess we were actually going down there in like the fall, so it was a weird timing. But
next year the dates have been announced already. The tickets are up, sir.
Oh, I actually didn't see that. When is it?
Yes, let's get him that information.
If you guys are looking for
what is it called now?
GCXevent.com. If you guys are looking for Guardian
let's
Con.
peer pressure Scream now live in front of the fans. So you heard it here first, fans. He said he's considering.
You can get your Premier Pass Plus.
Or
the biggest thing on it's the June 27th to 28th.
Oh, I can do that. That's easier.
There we go.
That's easier.
GCX event. Let's get him.
It is back at Rose and Shingle Creek. So the big thing that you're going to want to do if you guys are interested in Guardian Con is to follow, what are they called now, by the way, as I say things and don't know what to say. Are they GCX? GCX event. Yeah, so you're going to want to follow them for sure, because they're going to be the ones that tell you when the hotel blocks go on sale. That's an important piece. Because the hotel Rose and Shingle Creek's amazing. It's all there. You don't have to leave.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the deal that you're able to get
looked beautiful.
Was absolutely bonkers. So if they get a nice deal on the hotel room blocks that they did through Guardian Con, it's awesome.
There we go.
So yeah, keep an eye out for those as well. So yeah, planning for next year. I have no idea. I was like,
I definitely feel I was missing out. It was great to see all the pictures of everybody though together. It was like, oh, I know him, man. I know him,
man. It's like a fraternity. It's like a family. We talk with each other so much. I had seen this man in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a long time.
It was dope. It was dope, man. Like, it was just like, it's cool, especially if you got the passion for Destiny. And then I even tell people who don't like Destiny, there's other stuff for you, man. It was Warframe, there's Borderlands, this whole arcade thing. They got a couple of videos up, but it's as a Destiny content creator, Lord Williams, you need to be there. You owe us one. That's all I would say. Just one.
It's like Protheon. Right. I saw him. Yeah, pretty much a lot of people on Twitter were like, "I got to turn it off, man. I'm sad I didn't go." Like, So, and I hadn't been in 3 years. I'd missed many, so I was like getting back. It was the right time to go back. It was a great one. And Rose and Shingle is awesome. The resort is really, 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 really awesome. So, yeah, watch for those hotel blocks as well. But I think that is about all we got.
Yep.
Scream, we always try and time this, but with audio delays, it's interesting. But basically, I'm going to try and wrap it up. So we always try and do, it has been, and then all together, we say the last word. So I was trying to wait for you guys to start. But it's like, I'll say, it has been, and then all together, we'll try and get the last words out. But it's always kind of a mess. But it's always fun. So, well, thank you guys all for tuning in and chat. This is episode 66, climbing up there for July 19th. And for everybody here live and in chat, it has been the last
word.
Always off.
Have a good one, y'all.
Have a good one. Peace.